27 straight wins and counting. The defending champs from Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin have powered their way back to Champaign. Standing in their path is unbeaten Woodstock Marian. It's a meteorological matchup in 5A as the Cyclones meet the Hurricanes next on the IHSA TV network.
On a simply beautiful afternoon on the plains of Central Illinois here at Memorial Stadium, it's the battle for the 5A Illinois High School Association State Championship between the Cyclones of Sacred Heart Griffin and the Hurricanes of Marian Central Catholic out of Woodstock. Hi, everybody. Alongside Jim Covert, I'm Tom Stocker. Well, I tell you what, we've got two teams here. Sacred Heart Griffin looking to defend its 5A championship from a year ago. Woodstock Marian Central, 5-4 a year ago.
And Tom, we've got the Cyclones or the Cyclones and the Hurricanes here, but I don't think we're going to get a blowout at all. It's going to be a nail biter. Both great teams, 13-0 records. They have one common opponent, which is Montini. And early in the year, a close game between Montini and Sacred Heart Griffin, 32-25. Whereas up in Woodstock, Marian Central Catholic played Montini twice, 20-19 at middle of the season. They won by 1 point, but then came back in the playoffs with a 24-0 victory. So should be a great matchup.
Let's take a look at how these two teams got here. You have to win 4 games for the Cyclones, an easy one over Mattoon. Then, in bad conditions, they showed they could run the football in beating Kankakee McNamara. Beat Cahokia for the second time in 4 weeks, 42-6, and had a slugfest with Metamora to get here a 19-6 victory. Meanwhile, for Woodstock Marian Central Catholic, their road to Champaign with a shutout of Lombard Montini. Then a second-round win over a very tough and talented Lamont team. They beat Dixon in the quarterfinals, and they held Canelan's 42-point-a-game offense to 7 points in the semifinals. Taking a look now at the Griffins of Sacred Heart Griffin. Taking a look at the Cyclones. Their quarterback, Bobby Brenheisen, led them to a championship last year, looking for 2 this year.
Well, Brenheisen's an outstanding quarterback. It's wonderful they have the experience coming in back-to-back championships. He's thrown 37 touchdowns. He only throws 1 interception every 54 passes.
Meanwhile, on the defensive side, Andrew Collings, a senior playing in his 3rd state championship game.
And Andrew Collings is like the quarterback on defense. He's very quick and mobile. He's started since his freshman year, actually, and is a leading tackler on this football team. Outstanding student, has a nose for the ball.
For Marian Central Catholic, they have run behind and defended with a couple of huge bookends. Brian Bulaga, what a job he's done this year.
Well, we got Brian Bulaga, who's a great blocker, and TJ Pappas, an outstanding running back, who's their leading ball carrier, and he's going to have to break some tackles today with that running game to go.
Meanwhile, defensively, Sean Swinar has been in there, a very, very tough player, but he's also teamed up with Brian Bulaga, the 6'4", 285-pound senior.
And we'll talk about Brian Bulaga and Swinar both. They're both very much like bookends. A huge football player, very mobile, plays both ways, and he has 23 sacks, as well as being a guy who opens up the holes up front for the running backs.
All right, let's meet the two teams playing for the 5A state championship as we go to Stadium Public Address announcer Jeff Fritzen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are your starting lineups for the Class 5A State Football Championship. First for Woodstock Marian Central Catholic, head coach Ed Brucker. The Hurricanes defense at end, number 77, Sean Swiner. At tackle, number 75, George Harina. At tackle, number 9, Pat Wenzel. At defensive end, number 59, Brian Bulaga. At linebacker, number 50, Jack Gilliland. Linebacker number 34, Alex Roethlisberger. At linebacker number 32, TJ Pappas. At defensive back number 3, Jordan Peart. At defensive back number 7, Nico Aguilar. At defensive back number 84, Aaron Lloyd. And a defensive back, number 24, Devin Kusek. And now introducing Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin, head coach Ken Leonard. And the offensive starters for the Cyclones at tackle, 64, Nick Taylor. At guard, number 75, Matt Israel. At center, number 52, Kelby Jasmine. At guard, number 56, Jason Moore. At tackle, number 70, Matt Mast. Running back, number 24, Chris Peterson. Wide receiver, number 33, Mike Edwards. Wide receiver, number 37, Keenan Gilpin. Wide receiver, number 2, Rob Mosher. Wide receiver, number 6, David Cavish. And quarterback, number 7, Bobby Brennison.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Champaign. The Chevrolet keys to the game brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. Check out the American Revolution going on right now. First for the Cyclones.
Well, for Sacred Heart Griffin, we mentioned Bobby Brennison, and he's going to make good choices today. That's a key. He's got a lot of experience, and when he's throwing the ball, stuff the run. Marian Central Catholic, they prefer to run the ball, so the defensive front for Sacred Heart really has to match up with them. Fast start. 130 points to 9 points in the first quarter for Sacred Heart Griffin. They're used to getting on there quickly on the board. Marian Central Catholic, they need to really pressure the quarterback, put pressure on Brennison. That's the best pass defense there is. They need to score when they're in the red zone. They may not have many opportunities, so they need to come up with the points. And they have a couple big boys up front, and they play 6 guys both ways, so fourth quarter stamina is very critical for the Hurricanes.
Simply a beautiful afternoon. The wind will be at the backs of the Hurricanes, who kick it away. The kick by Aaron Nichols. And taken in the end zone by Keenan Gilpin. And it'll automatically come out to the 20-yard line. You take a look at our temperatures. Winds out of the south at 5, gusting up a little bit more on the field at times. But Mother Nature's owed us a day like this over the last few years. Let me tell you something, and she came through big time today.
I agree, Tom, and it'll just make for a better ball game down on the field, especially with the throwing game.
So the Cyclones will start it off at the 20-yard line. They run out of the shotgun exclusively. This year they've looked to pass first, then run. And that's Bobby Brennison. Wide open is Gilpin. And he's up to the 37-yard line, a 17-yard gain, and a first down on the first play of the game. The offensive line for the Cyclones, Nick Taylor, Matt Israel, Kelby Jasmine, the center, Jason Moore, Matt Mast. The backfield, Brennison, Chris Peterson, their leading rusher. 4 wideouts, Edwards, Keenan Gilpin, Rob Mosher, and David Cavish.
Well, they're not bashful. Came out throwing, first down. Trips again.
So Brennison with plenty of time, now under pressure. Incomplete at the 40-yard line. Nice breakup on the play by Jack Gilliland, the linebacker. Here's the defense for the Hurricanes. Swinar, Harina, Stapleton, Balaga as they run out of a 4-3. Gilliland, Alex Roethlisberger, TJ Pappas in the middle, and Jordan Pert, Nico Aguilar, Aaron Lloyd, and Devin Kusek in the secondary. A 2nd and 10 now for Sacred Heart Griffin. Brennison over the middle. Pass caught by David Cavish at the 44-yard line. A gain of about 7. Cavish came out of the semifinals with 2 touchdown receptions to give him a quick 13-0 lead over Canelan.
Well, we're really going to see a lot of multiple formations here. We had quad receivers there, and of course you'll see some no back set like we're looking at right now.
Brenneisen skipped it, underthrew it, looking for the 6'2 senior Mike Edwards, who has 23 receptions on the year, averaging 15.6 a catch.
Well, Bobby Brenneisen is thrown into the wind right now, but I don't think it's really affected him much. And we got a 4th down and 2, and so he's a punter, and that's nice when you have your punter as a quarterback because he averaged about 36 yards a punt.
Back deep to receive is Nico Aguilar, bouncing way in front of him inside the 30 against that wind and rolling to the 21-yard line. And that will be a punt of 33 yards. And so for the first time, John Budmeyer and company will put it into motion. 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes.
And the Hurricanes, they were really strong in the 80s, Tom. They had quite a few state championships, and but it's been quite some time since they've been here back to the title game. So here's their first drive, and we'll see how things work for them.
Dressed completely in red, team colors red and Columbia blue. Run out of a pro set. Roethlisberger trying to get outside. Nice one-on-one tackle on the corner by the 6-foot senior David Cavish. The offensive line for the Hurricanes. There's Balaga at 285, Parker at 190, Gilliland at 185, O'Neill at 235, Swinar at 284. Budmeyer, the quarterback. Behind him, Pappas and Roethlisberger. The tight ends, Lloyd and Pert, and Polizzi is the wideout. 2nd and short. And the quick hitter right up the middle and close to a 1st down, but the carry on the play, TJ Pappas.
I'm sure Coach Ed Brucker would really like to establish the ground game here and not put too much pressure on sophomore quarterback John Budmeyer. Going to get a measurement.
Now, he's a sophomore quarterback, but this is his 2nd year as a starter.
People in that conference are not going to enjoy it much, are they? They've got to keep an eye on him for the next 2 seasons.
First down. Now, when you are a freshman quarterback and a veteran coach like Ed Brucker has enough confidence in you. I mean, Brucker's been around the block a few times.
Sure has.
He obviously saw something in the poise of this young man, and it's paid off. 4 and 5 a year ago, and in the state finals here in 2006. Fresh out of downs, 1st and 10 from the 31. That running play stuffed at the line by the middle of the 4-3 Sacred Heart Griffin defense.
Nick Taylor really got in there as a two-way player. Sacred Heart Griffin only has about 3 two-way starters. And as we mentioned, it's a beautiful day, but as the game goes on, those big guys up front playing both sides of the ball for the Hurricanes, we'll see if they have the stamina.
And a bit of a warm afternoon on the artificial surface here at Memorial Stadium. Now they run out of an I formation. He fakes the handoff, and Budmeyer's pass in and out of the hands and nearly picked off. In and out of Lloyd's hands and nearly intercepted by Josh Gossard. It's incomplete. The defensive line for the Cyclones, Steerin, Moore, Johnson, and the veteran Nick Taylor. Steerin and Taylor both started last year. Hubbard, Edwards, and Collings, their leader on the offensive end in the middle. And Cavish, Marian, Gossard, and the very versatile Keenan Gilpin in the secondary for Sacred Heart Griffin. It's a 3rd and 10 now for Marian Central Catholic. Again off the play action. Budmeyer, a bit of scrambling. And he holds on to it as he is stopped by Sean Johnson and Nick Taylor, and then a host of white jerseyed Cyclones finish up the play.
They came right back with that same bootleg play as we see Budmeyer making the fake to his running back, looking for his tight end again, but this time he was covered across field. Elects to put it away and run, turn back in, and a swarm of defenders from Sacred Heart Griffin on the tackle.
Loss of 3. And so Back to punt is Peckinpah for Central Catholic. Wind at his back, and not a very good kick.
Got the bounce.
But he gets a huge bounce, kind of like my drives on the fairway. Not very long in the air, but a lot of roll to the 29-yard line. A 44-yard punt that looks better as a stat than it did in actual execution. So it's 1st and 10 for the Cyclones.
You have no mulligans here either. And,
no.
But they have the wind behind them, and that artificial turf off, and you'll get a bounce like that.
Take a look in the trenches. The weight advantage for the Hurricanes at 267 pounds compared to Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin's 234-pound-a-man average. So Brent Eisen again out of the shotgun. This time it's the handoff. And Keenan Gilpin on the flanker around is up to the 32-yard line and picked up 3.
We'll see Gilpin here as he comes around off the end around. Nice pursuit from the inside out. Good kick out, Black, but excellent pursuit from the inside out. Both these teams really pursue on defense. That's one reason they're not giving up a lot of points per ball game.
Call it 2nd and 6. Gilpin is the man in motion. He gets the pass as it's swung out to the far side. Gilpin has a first down and then some. Gilpin was a starter last year in the title game, but was knocked out with a recurring bout of vertigo. He's been able to solve the problems this year, and he's been able to knock other people dizzy this season.
He had good balance on that play.
There's a scoring so far this year. The very stingy defenses of both of these teams. Look at the Cyclones. 5 points a game in the playoffs, including a very convincing win over Metamora last weekend. 1st and 10 from the 42. The handoff, rambling up the middle. Chris Peterson, their leading rusher, and he's got a first down and then some. Up to the 45-yard line, he picks up 13.
Chris Peterson's their #1 runner, and they spread him out, and he finds the open seam and has excellent vision as he gets up the field. And we know that Marian Central Catholic defense is going to really be spread out with these formations. So if you get a little bubble in there, you're off to the races.
Well, the Cyclones have been described by some as a pass-happy team, but they've proven they can run the football. There is Peterson again, but this play snuffed out at the 43-yard line for a gain of only 2. In on the tackle, Jack Gilliland.
And Alex Roethlisberger made a nice play there, too. Plays both sides of the football. He's a running back as well as a linebacker.
Cyclones this year, in terms of their play calling, have really favored the pass this season. 2nd down and 8. Again, Gilpin's the man in motion. And again, he gets the swing pass from Brent Eisen. And Gilpin, just like the play a couple of plays ago, gets another first down.
It's like a long handoff. They had success the first time. They hit him on the swing out to the triple receiver side, and there's a lot of stalk blocking going on out there. Griffin rushes at 26.6 times a game. That's pretty good rushing average, and they're throwing the ball 21 times a game, but they're hitting some long passes there.
They've busted some games wide open with big passing plays this whole season. The inside handoff, Peterson. Peterson breaks free. He's to the 25-yard line where he picks up 9 yards, and it was close to a first down. And right now, the Hurricane defense has not been able to find a way to bottle them up.
No, and they really are keeping Central Catholic guessing here with mixing the run. A nice job of getting north and south, fighting for extra yards as we see number 75 in on the play, George Harina.
What a block on the corner against the defensive end Balaga, though. A big key for springing Peterson wide open for a gain of 9 at 2nd and very short. The ball inside Marian Central's 25-yard line. Under pressure, Brent Eisen gets it away. Leaping catch made by David Cavish. A big play guy all year, and he's inside the 10-yard line. Cavish stood on the sidelines a year ago, waited for his turn this year.
Brent Eisen makes a great play as we get inside blitz pressure, He gets rid of it right before he's sacked. A great job of turning his hips back to the ball by Cavish. Finds some stalk blocking downfield, and these receivers, they block for each other. They all block for each other, and they all get their share of catches. Excellent play.
Brent Eisen says, I always look for him, and you can see why. A bad snap on the shotgun snap, and Brent Eisen goes down at the 11-yard line for a loss on the play of about 3. But Cavish in the semifinals, you talk about some of his big plays, 2 touchdown receptions, 3 receptions total, 85 yards. As you look at Jack Gilliland, one of their linebackers for the Hurricanes, and Brent Eisen looking at his play chart on his wrist. Will always work out of the shotgun.
Nice play.
Broken up at the goal line. Looking for Cavish there, but a great job defensively by Nico Aguilar.
Nico Aguilar really timed this out, as we see Brent Eisen rolling out to the right, shoots the sideline pattern, and perfect position by Nico Aguilar as he played behind the receiver and then reacted on the throwing lane once the ball was released.
This will be the 10th play of the drive, and a timeout's been taken on the field. We've got 5:03 remaining here in the first quarter. No score in the ball game in the battle for 5A on the IHSA TV network. Let's see where these two schools are located. Woodstock in the northwest Chicago suburbs of McHenry County. The city of Woodstock, nearly 22,000 in population. Springfield, of course, the state capital in Sangamon County. City enrollment and population of Springfield over 115,000.
And 2 teams like this from this different parts of the state wouldn't play each other if it wasn't for state playoffs like this. Great opportunity to see 2 good teams from different parts of the state.
3 wideouts to the near side as Brent Eisen looking under pressure, brought down for a sack, tackled on the play.
That was Bulaga,
Yep.
all-stater, headed for University of Iowa. He was in there. He's got 23 sacks this year, and we'll have a chance to see him coming from the backside. Brent Eisen doesn't really see him, and he really closed on him. Nice job, and that's what the Hurricanes needed right now. They need to make a Hurricane sandwich with those defensive ends.
Balaga worked hard in the offseason with speed and agility trainers. He truly is a team leader on the Hurricane team. It was a 15-yard loss. So this is 4th down and 25, and just beyond the leaping effort of Mike Edwards at the 10-yard line. And so the Cyclones come away empty-handed, and the Hurricane will take it over on down. What a play there, covering by TJ Pappas. Let's send it down to the sidelines. And Lisa.
Thanks. The beauty of these high school state championships is looking at the different schools, some steeped in tradition and others ready to start their own. We see the Cyclones 7th season that they're in double-digit wins. Last year, perfect season. Last year, state title. And then you look on the other side with the Hurricanes, haven't had an unbeaten season, regular season since 1994. Last state title game was 1989. It's been a while, but I guarantee you the quarterback, John Budmeyer, might have something different to say about that coming up as a sophomore, continuing this game and the rest of his career.
Thank you, Sarah. I only do what the truck tells me to do. I'm a good play-by-play announcer. I just follow the truck. All right, they're out to the 34-yard line. Gain of 7, and it's 2nd down and 3 right now.
Hurricanes coming out throwing. They're in a 4 quick receiver set. Run the inside play. Not much there.
TJ Pappas.
We just saw Budmeyer on the previous play hook up with Jordan Pert, one of his favorite targets. And they're going to have to, the Hurricanes are going to definitely have to mix it up just like their opponents are. The Cyclones were mixed up the run and the pass. We're going to see that, I think, the same thing out of Budmeyer and company if they expect to move that football.
So it's 3rd and short. Getting outside, Joe Peckinpah's got the first down and then puts his head down for extra yardage to the 44-yard line, and a first down for the Hurricanes.
And like all good running backs, Joe Peckinpah here props his shoulder, keeps his feet alive, spins off, and gets probably another 7 or 8 yards. And that's what you need out of your running backs, at extra effort and yards after first contact.
Well, this year, Sacred Heart Griffin felt that they had a much better defense this time around than their state title team of a year ago. And it's getting a firm test here this afternoon against this huge offensive line. A little counter play. Gets up to the 44-yard line. Back to the line of scrimmage for no gain, bringing up a 2nd and down.
And they had Sean Swinar pulling on that play, all 6'3", 284 pounds of him. But nice defense there. Nick Taylor getting in there and disrupting the blocking scheme.
Nearing 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Scoreless game. Not surprising, these two defenses have been strong all season long. Bud Mayer, 2 fakes in the backfield. Now he decides to run a little arm fake to freeze the defense, but he is stopped cold at the line of scrimmage. Hit hard on the play by Mike Edwards, the linebacker.
And Mike Edwards didn't go for the fake on this as there's a play action. Nice job of play actioning. Good coverage downfield. Bud Meyer scrambles, makes a little pump fake, but boy, oh boy, when they say Mike Edwards just labeled his vision in on the numbers and kept his feet on the ground and said, hey, forget about the pass. I'm going to label him.
What fake? Edwards, another returning starter from a year ago. 3rd down and 10 for Marian Central. Budmeyer gets it away. Catch made near the first down marker. Is it enough for the first down?
We're going to get a measurement, I think, on this one. It was an excellent job of getting rid of that football because there was excellent pressure. Budmeyer rolling out to the right. He gets hit right as he's throwing by number 9, Mike Sterin. And we'll see what that catch is there. Nice catch by Devin Cusack.
They'll stretch out the chains.
Game of inches.
It looks
2
like,
inches.
Looks like they've used if they would have used a dirty football, they might have had a first down. But
These
they're
are big
just
decisions.
shy.
Yep, big decisions. We saw in the game previous to this, Batavia went for it in this situation, going the other way. I think with the big offensive line there that Marian Catholic has, they're going to they'll go for it rather than punt. We'll see.
With the 4th down, you got guys like Swinar at 284, Balag at 285, Cody O'Neill, the right guard, there at 235.
Here they go.
Look for them maybe to go just to the right side of center. Yeah, just right up the middle.
I'll tell you what.
Second effort, he got it. He didn't get it at first, but he bounced towards that right side where O'Neill and Swinar are.
And I'll tell you why. Joe Peckinpah, you'll see Joe Peckinpah, the running back here, as Budmeyer tries to hit in there. He's stopped, but there Peckinpah drills him from behind his own teammate. Actually, gave him a little bit of an assist.
So a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the Sacred Heart Griffin 45-yard line with under a minute remaining in the opening quarter. 0-0 our score in the 5A state championship. Now a spread formation here from Marian Central Catholic. Out of the shotgun, Bud Mayer throwing long.
That's
and pass interference. Yeah. Jordan Pert clearly had beaten his defender, Josh Gossard. Gossard brought him down. Now remember, it's not at the spot of the foul. It's a 15-yard penalty, so sometimes the defender can actually, if we know he's beaten that badly, I'll give up 15 yards on the penalty rather than give up a touchdown.
And Mike Edwards there, as we're looking at 33, he was a coverage responsibility there as a linebacker in that 4 wideout formation. And Budmeyer had plenty of time to throw and did a nice job. We'll see what we have here, but we know the outcome.
Pass interference on the defense. First down.
It is an automatic first down at the 30-yard line of Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin.
They've got the win for about 28 more seconds, Tom.
That's how much time is remaining in the first quarter. Bud Mayer, hands off, right up the middle is Joe Peckinpah. And he picks his way right down to the 24-yard line. And we'll set up a second down in about 5. Take a look. This year, Marian, obviously a run-oriented team. There are nearly 39 rushes a game. just 14 pass attempts a game, and obviously a decided edge in their ground game average per contest. The first quarter is history. Marian Central Catholic is just about to get in the red zone of Sacred Heart Griffin, and we've got a timeout as we head to the second quarter. No score in our 5A state championship game. Two undefeated teams, Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin, Marian Central Catholic, both teams 13-0. But right now, the Hurricanes of Marian to the 24-yard line and a 2nd and 4. Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin running their 4-3 defense and perhaps some early motion as the laundry is everywhere.
Evan Cusick moved a little bit before, but I'm not sure if we had a encroachment defensively.
Dead ball, encroachment, and the offense.
Nope.
Second.
Well, you don't want to get out of the red zone, and we're moving that direction. Here's your officials.
Referee Bill Lang, along with Tim Fay, James Utterback, Gerald Feeney, and James Cunningham. The excellent men in the black and white arbitrating today's game. Bud Mayer swing pass. Oh, broken up hard. He was looking over on the far side, looking for Nico Aguilar, and boy, was he smoked from the backside by David Cavish.
Cavish really times this out. He was rolled up in coverage, so the read wasn't good, and wow, he'll feel that one tomorrow. He get hit one way or the other, whether you catch it or not. And Nico Aguilar, he just ran the quick out route, but Cavish was rolled up in coverage. And now we have a big third down play. They need to run something across the middle based on the defensive coverages we've looked at.
SHG's defense allowing fewer than 70 passing yards a game. A little screen pass going to Peckinpah, trying to get outside, but Cavish steers him out of bounds at the 26-yard line, bringing up a 4th down.
Good call on the screen. Budmeyer looking straight upfield, which is trying to look the linebackers off, and then dumps the ball off to our right as we watch it from the end zone. And nice job there by Peckinpah getting to the outside and Cavish in on another play. He's an awful active football player, both sides of the football.
It's 4th and 5. They need to get the ball right touching the 20-yard line to get a 1st down. Bud Mayer will work out of the shotgun. He's going for it all in the end zone. Broken up from Aguilar. Defended on the play by
Joe Marian.
Yeah, Joe Marian, the cornerback.
He did an excellent job. Joe Marian, he's covering the deep middle, going stride for stride with Aguilar, gets up, makes a nice play, bats down hard on the ball as we get a chance to look at good protection for Budmeyer. They elected Hurricanes to go for the touchdown rather than the 5-yard route, and they have failed in the red zone, and that was one of our keys to the game. That may come back to haunt them.
So now it's from the 25, 1st and 10. So far, each team with a punt, and also each team turning it over on downs. The running game play gets it up to the 26-yard line, a gain of only a yard on the play. First quarter stats, 5 first downs to 4 for the Hurricane. Rushing yards, passing yards, you can see a little edge there for the Cyclones, but
not much. This is a defensive game. Forget about the quick start, right?
Our stats recap brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Brent Eisen gets the pass to Gilpin. He's dangerous in the open field, and he's got room to go. One man to beat, and it's out of bounds at the 40. He had a blocker downfield, Rob Mosier, but Mosier had to be careful to avoid the clip. 32 yards on the passing play.
And that was a slip screen coming underneath is Gilpin, and you'll see as he's cutting to the inside, there's his lineman going the opposite direction. He gets a good cutback, and he's off to the races, keeping the ball on the outside arm to protect it, a nice downfield block, and that was the kind of big play that really changed field position here for the Cyclones.
Gilpin averaged nearly 14 yards a catch on 47 receptions so far coming into the game. Swing pass again to Gilpin. And he's to the 34-yard line. Got a lead block downfield from David Cavish.
That's that long handoff, as I always like to call it. That just that swing pass. It's the third time they've hit it, and each time they've gotten good yardage down.
A little history to the Cyclones offense. When head coach Ken Leonard was just a young pup in this game, and he was coaching at Gridley, he attended a clinic at Illinois State University where he met this young assistant at ISU named Urban Meyer. And it's the offense that Leonard has used ever since as Gilpin rambles his way to the 23-yard line, has more than enough for the first down after picking up 11 yards on the play.
And we'll have a chance again to see this. We're getting some good running east and west here on the inside handoff to Gilpin. Good blocking, hook blocking, nice stock blocking downfield. And Gilpin knows where to find the little seams and gets good yardage. They're really mixing in the run very nicely with the pass here, the Cyclones, keeping the defense a little bit off balance right now. 4 for 10 territory.
1st and 10 from the 24 of Woodstock Marian Catholic. Up the middle, breaking up the middle. Josh Gossard, he's to the 6-yard line. Stopped by Devin Cusack, and it'll be 1st and goal to go after the 17-yard play.
And Josh Gossard here really is doing a great job of weaving. We see a nice trap block there, keeping a double cover going, getting north and south, and breaking some tackles. And now they're down by pay dirt about the 7-yard line.
By the way, I was wondering, whatever happened to that young Mayer kid, Urban Meyer? Whatever happened to him?
Well, he sure moved around, and he ran this offensive Bowling Green, and then Utah, and now, of course, in Florida.
Gossard has blocking, and he's in for the score.
Nice play, nice lead play. No scoring in the first quarter, but right off the bat, the Cyclones get their touchdown here in the second quarter.
Gossard's 7th touchdown of the season.
Have a nice view here of Gossard getting goal line lean, beautiful blocking out in front, double covered the ball, and that lean takes him right into the end zone for our first score.
Now Edwards will try the extra point out of Brent Eisen's hold. And the kick is good. And a 7-0 lead for the defending 5A state champions with 9:40 left in the second quarter here in Champaign. A tournament 100 years in the running, a book 100 years in the making. The IHSA proudly announces 100 years of March Madness, the most complete history of March Madness ever published. You can pre-order now at IHSA.org or call the IHSA at 309-663-6377. Well, this year, Sacred Heart Griffin outscored their opponents in the opening quarter 130-9. They didn't get the quick advantage in the first quarter, but they get on the board first. A 7-0 lead as the shadows begin to grow here on the turf at Memorial Stadium in Champaign.
And right now, Marian Central Catholic needs to respond with a drive of their own. They were down there in the red zone and did not come up with any points. And then we saw quite a mixture of run and pass by the Cyclones as they went in for their first touchdown.
Back deep, Aaron Lloyd and Nico Aguilar awaiting Edwards' kick. Aguilar, now whistles blow, and a flag thrown at the line of scrimmage on the kickoff. Delay of game. Now that's a penalty you don't see. You don't see a penalty like that too often.
Edwards is saying, hey, I put it in the end zone almost, so you got to do it again. Going back 5.
From the 30-yard line, though. There's something you just don't see every day.
We'll get an explanation, I'm sure, by referee Bill Lang. We'll see right now. Unless they had a extra man on the field and they had to pull him off, which would then result in a delay of game.
Yeah, delay of game 5 yards. So from the 35, they'll kick.
Going to make a difference, too.
Yep, big difference. Aguilar sent it from the goal line, gets it at the 15, and he's out of bounds at the 30 2-yard line. So that's a 30-yard difference, perhaps, a 19-yard return for Aguilar. And Marian Central Catholic will put it in play, 1st and 10 from their own 32. So far this year, offensively, Sacred Heart Griffin averaging 100 yards passing per game.
I think that's what our totals are right now.
Oh, so far. There we are, so far.
They'd get a lot more than that.
Thanks, Coach.
No problem.
I am coachable. I will say that. Inside handoff, nothing doing. Big stop up the middle by Keenan Gilpin. Came up from the secondary to make the stop.
Mike Steeren really closed that off as a defensive end, too, because he had a big man running at him there in Harina, number 75, pulling the trap, but he constricted the hole as a defensive end there, number 9. Excellent play.
Loss of a yard on the play, 2nd and 11.
I formation, double tight end.
Pappas and Peckinpah. Here's Peckinpah hit at the line and driven back. First to meet him, Nick Taylor, who just drove him back, and then other white jerseys came up to finish up the play.
Big number 64, Nick Taylor here. You'll see him splitting in on the right side, coming in and unable to, he beat his man to the inside gap, disrupted the entire football play.
Then Edwards and Collins came up to finish up the play. You take a look at Edwards, their middle linebacker.
They might need to cut their splits down a little bit, the Hurricanes, if they're getting penetration like that.
Another loss of a yard, and it's 3rd and 12. The toss and drop for a loss on the play. Back at the 25 is Peckinpah as he has dropped on the play by Mike Steeren.
We'll see an excellent job of support here on the quick toss, disrupting the play. And underneath, that was number 9. Once again, did a nice job. Steeren, that's 2 plays in a row, constricting the trap block in the previous play and fighting off blockers and making the tackle for loss on the sweep toss. And now the Hurricanes are going to be punting into a wind and may end up having to defend a short field.
Peckinpah will punt. It will bounce, take a lateral roll, and actually a little bit of a Sacred Heart Griffin roll. And great field position for Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin at the 49 after a punt of only 25 yards for Peckinpah.
It's hard to imagine the winning streak that the Cyclones have put together, isn't it? Now they've had 27 games total, and engineering all those games are Brennison at quarterback along with all of his teammates. So we have a chance to see the games coming up. Congratulations to Normal Community. The middle part of the state's playing some football. You know, a Normal beating Batavia, and here we looked at an awful good football team in Sacred Heart Griffin.
Brett Eisen, who's never lost a game that he's played in high school. The handoff up the middle and nothing doing for Peterson. Josh Goshard on the play, the 5'11" junior, averaging 6.5 yards a carry.
Harina in on that tackle along with Jack Gilliland as they faked the ball to the motion man and gave it to the tailback.
Brett Eisen's already passed for 100 yards this afternoon. Only 19 yards passing so far in the game for Marian Central Catholic's offense.
They got him isolated on the weak side over here, one-on-one.
2nd and 10. That swing pass, a penalty marker is down. Gilpin, again, as he's been very successful on that play all game long, gets an apparent first down, but let's sort out the penalty that was thrown on at the line of scrimmage.
Devin Cusick really almost jumped in on that. He smelt that one out. They've done the long handoff several times and almost got in the throwing lane.
Looks like it's going to be illegal procedure called against the Cyclones.
There's Coach Leonard. Wasn't real excited about the call and letting the official know it.
Tell you, when you're a side judge,
it's
you
tough.
got to have thick skin.
You can't have rabbit ears.
Illegal formation, not enough men on the line of scrimmage on the offense. 5 yards, 2nd down.
So one of the other wideouts was off the line and probably had 3 guys back off the line of scrimmage on that side with a motion swing man.
That shows you the kind of concentration. When you run an offense as varied and as spread and wide open as the Cyclones do. That's just a little something extra you got to worry about. Brenneisen throwing, hauled in on the run by Mosier, and he's brought down inside the 30-yard line by Nico Aguilar. Mosier, the 5'9" junior, his 26th catch of the year, 27 yards.
And we're going to the weak side. He pump fakes, and there's Mosier on the skinny post on the back side. We saw that on the previous play, all by himself, trips out to one side. He's all by himself, Mosier on the back side, the weak side, and runs a nice route. The coverage was actually quite good by Aguilar.
That was an excellently thrown pass, Coach.
Right.
That was right on the money. 1st and 10 from the Hurricanes, 28. That inside handoff. No, that's a fake. Keeping his Brenneisen. He faked me out. He's all the way down to the 8-yard line. What a fake. He really sold that play. 20 yards on the running play.
He really did. He really made a great fake out of it. The running back draped over the ball, and there's Brenneisen coming off the inside fake. Ball on the outside arm. He's got excellent speed and really makes a nice razzle-dazzle out of that spread formation. You got to run the ball sometimes as a quarterback off of that to keep the defensive ons.
And that fake took 2 to sell it. Both Brenneisen and Josh Gossard.
Exactly.
1st and goal. Gossard puts his head down and is to the 4-yard line. And he stopped on the play out of the secondary. Aaron Lloyd, the 6'1" senior, with the stop.
Seeing some straight ahead attack on this play. North and south to the end zone. Inside at the 5, and they are in excellent shape, the Cyclones are right now. They need to take care of the ball and not have any penalties.
2nd and goal from the 4. Gossard walks into the end zone for the score.
Nice play, nice block too by Matt Israel, one of those offensive linemen. We'll see him pulling on this play.
Gossard's 2nd touchdown.
Matt Israel, the right guard's pulling here. You'll see him turn upfield right there, pancaking and making quite a block on Jack Gilliland, number 50, the linebacker. We're not giving, you don't run the ball without those big horses moving and blocking up front. And they also do a great job of pass protecting too.
Remember, this is a Marian defense that held Canelan 5 trips inside the 20, 2 interceptions, a fumble, 2 penalties, 2 sacks. But right now, Sacred Heart Griffin 2 for 3 in the red zone. The point after is good. And a 14-0 lead with 5.5 minutes to go in the first half in our championship battle for the 5A title here in Champaign.
We got a flag on
penalty
the field.
Marker on the flag.
Yep.
They may have to re-kick. It could also be assessed on the ensuing kickoff. Looks like it's going to be against Marian Central Catholic. But again, if you're the Hurricanes defense, Jim, you're going, well, we did a number on that Canelan team that was averaging 42 points a game, and now suddenly they have not found a way to stop them.
Running into the kicker and the defense. The touchdown is good. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Point after is indeed good, and they'll put that penalty on the kickoff. It'll be coming up after we take this timeout on the IHSA TV network.
Here we'll have the running into the kicker penalty as we see the extra point try by Edwards. The Hurricane defender coming in. We just caught a glimpse of it from the outside, and that definitely caught Edwards, though. He went down, and it's important to protect that extra point field goal kicker.
At this point in the game right now, 200 yards of total offense for Sacred Heart Griffin, 40 yards of total offense for Marian Central Catholic.
And I'm sure right now Mike Edwards would like to boom it with the win into the end zone and give the Hurricanes an 80-yard field to have to work with.
Aguilar back deep along with Aaron Lloyd as Edwards sends it flying. And Aguilar will field it in the end zone. Automatically it'll come out to the 20-yard line. And 1st and 10 for Marian Central Catholic. There's a scoring drive. 5 plays going 51 yards, less than 2 minutes And Gossard scoring from 4 yards out to give the Cyclones a 14-zip lead.
And the key there is it was a 51-yard drive. You know, that field position, you just don't want to do that when you're playing the Cyclones at all. Give them a short field. Right now, the Hurricanes got to turn it up. They're in a spread formation themselves, get some first downs.
Peckinpah was the lone man in the backfield. That pass swung out to Aguilar. Breaks one, breaks two. Still on his feet and finally spun out of bounds after a 9-yard gain. Finally coming over Leonard Hubbard after 3 other Cyclones missed.
Well, Nico Aguilar makes a great effort here on a short route. He spins, keeps his legs alive, switches the ball to the outside arm, and what an outstanding effort. And that's what Marian Central Catholic needs right now, is that kind of effort out of its players offensively and get a march started here.
Yeah, that kind of leadership by example on the field. Second and short. And Peckinpah has a good haul, spins up to the 34-yard line for a gain of 5 and a first down. Peckinpah, a big touchdown in the semifinals against Canelan on a 48-yard screen pass. Came into the game averaging 5+ yards a carry.
Sean Swinner making a nice block on that play. He's kind of the understudy of his teammate, Brian Bulaga. They work out hard together. One's a junior, one's a senior.
He kind of plays in the shadow, but then again, everybody plays in Bulaga's shadow. He casts such a big one. Nice catch on the slant pattern to Devin Cusack. Penalty marker thrown at the tail end of the play as he is out to the 40-yard line.
Cusick ran a nice slant-in pattern there on David Cavish, and Cavish was all over the route. Maybe he was on it a little too much. We'll see.
May have been a little pushing, perhaps some interference on the play. Yep. And so
he'll probably take the penalty, even though they had to catch. I think they'll get a couple more yards on the penalty. Let's see. It's close.
Got about 11 yards on the catch, and you'll get 15 yards on the penalty.
Right. And it's not about stats. It's about moving that football.
Said like a coach.
There we go. Yeah, you got a +4 for the team, right?
There you go.
Pass interference on the defense. First down.
Here we have a chance to look at that slant in. Nice slant in pass. Oh, yeah. It was good coverage, good aggressive coverage. You try to teach your corner to attack the upfield arm and play that ball, but he made contact. Cavish did just a little before the ball got there.
Peckinpah, lone man in the backfield. He runs it straight ahead, has a hole, and he has close to a first down at the 40-yard line. Cavish and Gilpin making the tackle.
Nice, excellent play there as we have a chance to see a trap block. Peckinpah upfield, and this is what they needed. They were throwing the ball. You know what? They're doing the same thing that Sacred Heart Griffin's doing. They're throwing it and running it now, keeping the defense off balance. Using more spread formation than I think people anticipated.
And using their size advantage in the trenches as well. Really coming to advantage for the first time in the game. Peckinpah slowed up at the line. Firing in from the near side was defensive end Mike Steeran.
Steeran's been all over the football field. I'll tell you, he really moves laterally down the line nicely. We've seen him do 3 different kinds of plays. We've seen him close off a trap block, stop a toss sweep, and there, when the ball went away from him, like most good defensive linemen, closed flat down the line of scrimmage and made the tackle from behind.
Just about a foot or so gain on the play. Second and call it 9-yard line from the spread. The fake. Now he's going long, looking downfield, and he overthrows Jordan Pert, the 5'11 junior. Defended well on the play
by Joe Marian.
Yep.
Nice coverage out there. They were going for the money. They've been setting it up.
Well, even if it was incomplete, it does help loosen up that defense just a little bit.
That's right. And Budmeyer, as we had mentioned, he's only a sophomore, but John Budmeyer, this is his second year as a starter, so he has a lot of football games under his belt.
So now Budmeyer with a tough call here. 3rd and long, 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun, the sophomore quarterback throws a clutch catch, leaping catch made by Jordan Pert, his 21st catch of the year. And he hung on, and the spot gives it right at the 30-yard line.
It's going to be
Looks
close.
like he got a first down.
And Jordan Pert runs a comeback pattern there. It's a well-thrown ball. He's coming back to the football. The coverage is just excellent. And ball bounces out, but he had possession.
Gossard, great coverage. He did all he could do.
He was all over him. That's just an excellently run football play. Execution was great because Gossard was all over him.
Now you sense the Hurricanes getting confidence. A fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. They're down by 14. Bud Mayer, excellent protection. He's got a man wide open, and it is overshot. Ryan Palizzi looking. He was so wide open inside the 5, but he just couldn't catch up with it.
Ryan Palizzi ran a corner route in behind a shorter route, and he broke wide open on that play. And I guarantee, there it is. You can see him breaking open to the corner, and there was a reaction by the defensive back afterwards, but he was even open to a greater extent before that ball was thrown. I think Bud Mayer could have released it a little bit sooner and let him run to it. He would have had 6.
2nd and 10. An empty backfield out of the shotgun. And again, Bud Mayer with time. Flushed out of the pocket. Has a man open. 13. Caught by Jordan Pert. Spun down immediately on the play by Josh Gossard.
What a great job by John Bud Mayer. Scrambling here. Nobody open. Not throwing the ball just up for grabs. Now he elects to go to the outside, and a beautiful catch by Jordan Pert.
I guess they have now ruled it incomplete. And we saw the referee, the side judge, come in at the tail end of the play and whistled it incomplete. Apparently he lost it as he was going out of bounds.
On the far side, we'll have a chance here. His foot's on the line, and that's what it is. You got to have 1 foot in. Well, the back foot, actually, the trail foot looked like it was in.
Well, it may have looked like he was out of bounds when he caught the football.
Yeah, that's right.
The foot was on the sidelines when he caught it.
That's
so
right. You got to have a possession prior to that.
Take a look once again on the sidelines.
There's the ball thrown, and it looks, well, he's tiptoeing it.
And 1 foot comes down out of bounds,
Yep.
The other one not in first. And that's why it was ruled incomplete.
Good call. Unless you're a Hurricane fan.
Hey, guys in black and white, they earned their way to this game by their performance throughout the course of the season. And this is a big day for them.
Yeah, and it's a veteran crew.
Yep.
It really is. In fact, they did the game, semifinal game. They did the Mount Carmel game last Saturday night against Lincoln Way East. That was a good ball game. And in fact, the next ball game, here we've got some offensive comparisons coming up. Sacred Heart Griffin rushing the ball and throwing the ball for more yardage. But this is really the first great drive we've seen for the Hurricanes. I mean, and it's really out of the Sacred Heart Griffin book. It's more of a spread formation and run and throw the ball.
They had
3rd and 10.
They had 40 yards all game long. They picked up 35 on this drive alone. Bud Mayer throws it under the coverage, and horse collar down to the 23-yard line is Aaron Lloyd, who came into the game their leading receiver with 24 catches and 5 touchdowns.
Bud Mayer looks to the middle. It's a double cross underneath the deep routes, and he hits his receiver right in full stride. And I'll tell you what, number 37, Keenan Gilpin, really reached out and pulled him down there. If he hadn't made that play, he would have got a lot more yardage. It's 4th and 3. Huge play here in the first half with only 2:43 time left.
Well, now the Cyclones going forward on a 4th down. Bud Mayer keeps it.
He might have got it.
Wow, he had good blocking. He went through the left side of the line this time.
He saw the bubble. He ran to the bubble there. He really did. When we talk about a bubble, we're talking about where there's a linebacker and there's a little more room as he comes through low. It'll be all about the spot.
I thought suddenly you were espousing the offensive philosophy of Lawrence Welk.
What's that?
The bubbles.
Oh, the bubbles. Okay. That's before my time.
Oh. Holy smokes.
What do you think here, Tom?
Yeah, there's something sticking out of my back there. All right, they're going to stretch the chain out.
He got it.
First down.
Big play.
Got it by the length of the football.
Game of inches once again, and this keeps the drive alive, and they're in the red zone once again. Marian Central Catholic was earlier in the red zone and came up with 0 points. It's critical right now before halftime that they go and put 7 on the board. 3 would even be a disappointment right now.
Pert and Aguilar go wide to the far side. Lloyd split out wide to the near side. And whistles blow at the line of scrimmage. And a timeout has been called.
Timeout, Sacred Heart Griffin. That's their second.
Stopping the clock with 2 minutes and 17 seconds left to go. The Cyclones with a 14-0 lead. Looking to go 14-0 for the second consecutive year. And again, Woodstock Marian Central, the only team of all the finalists this weekend, 1 through 8A, that had a losing record a year ago. Friday, Moreau Forsyth as Central Illinois wins big over Westville, 43-22. A tip of the cap personally to the Tuscola Warriors. I began my broadcasting career in that little town so many million years ago. Addison Driscoll, 6 straight championships now. St. Joe Ogden. Plano nearly blew a 28-7 lead and came out at the very end and won at 47-42. Earlier today, Normal Community nearly squandered a huge lead but held off Batavia. And 2 more coming yet this evening on the IHSA TV network. Bud Mayer scrambling on first down and has no room at all. Hit by several, including on the stop for Sacred Heart Griffin.
Leonard Hubbard was in there as a linebacker, and you know, Bud Meyer's, he's smart for a sophomore quarterback. He's not just throwing the ball up for grabs. The coverage was good downfield, and he tried to find an opening, make something out of nothing, but Leonard Hubbard really did a nice job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
So it's 2nd down and 11 yards to go. And Marian said, hey, we've been successful with the spread. Let's stay with it.
Nope.
Bud Mayer throwing incomplete at the 10-yard line.
Dangerous pass.
Looking for Pert. Josh Gossard was defending very well on the play.
That's a long ball to throw on that 90-degree cut. And Josh Gossard almost came underneath it. Actually, the number 2 receiver on the inside ran an out pattern, was more open than the widest man. That's just great coverage there. As we saw, number 7 there just coming into the picture, Nico Aguilar, he was actually open on that route.
Another timeout is called.
Timeout, and that's their second.
Marian Central Catholic with the timeout this time. 20 yards away from Pater, but facing a 3rd and 10 call right here.
Coach Ed Brucker has done an outstanding job. There was a Woodstock for many years and had a great record there, and is now in his 4th year at Marian Central Catholic, and has 34 wins and 10 losses, and is doing a great job this year bringing them to the finals.
You see the playoff history for these 2 schools. 4 state championships back in the 80s. The last was 89 for Marian Central Catholic. Sacred Heart Griffin finally got the monkey off its bat with the win last year. You see 4 second-place finishes. In fact, this is the 10th time that Sacred Heart Griffin under Ken Leonard has gone undefeated entering the playoffs.
Yeah, and Coach Leonard's done just a great job. Like you had mentioned, they'd been to the finals 4 times and come up short, and then last year they won it. And the way you win championships is coming up with a big play, and here we got one right now. 3rd and 10. They'll get 2 shots to get 10 yards.
Bud Mayer just gets it away. Diving catch at the 15-yard line. Nice catch by Aaron Lloyd, the 6'1 senior. Bud Mayer just got that pass away.
He did. It was the same pattern we saw before, a double cross underneath deeper routes. And we'll see Aaron Lloyd come from the right side. He releases just as he gets clocked, of course, by number 9 again. Holy mackerel,
Mike
what
Sterin.
A hit. Sterin makes that's several great plays executed there. The catch, the throw, and the pass pressure by Sterin.
4th and a short 6.
Corners.
Bud Mayer throwing, caught, and out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Nice catch on the sidelines. Again, it's Aaron Lloyd. A 13-yard reception, and it's 1st and goal for the Hurricane.
And as John Budmeyer rolls out, it's a flood pattern, deep, medium, and short. He goes to the medium receiver. And beautifully thrown ball. That's a money ball, and a sophomore who really plays more like a senior. Just outstanding. And is Aaron Lloyd coming up big as a receiver. Got time now, 42 seconds, but they don't have a lot of timeouts.
Out of the pro set, Bud Mayer keeping, plowing straight ahead.
He's got some
a pile
assistance.
of bodies. Touchdown. Touchdown, Hurricanes.
That was huge. Huge play. And the Hurricanes are back in the ball game for Marian Central Catholic, as we'll see John Budmeyer sneaking off to the edge, and he feels the block pressure, just starts twisting back the other way, and the ball breaks the plane. Nice job by his line, and he's getting a little help there again from his backs. Joe Peckinpah and number 32, TJ Pappas.
Also Cody Neal with a great lead block on the way as well. And the point after is good. And so it's a 7-point game with less than a minute to go in the first half. A huge confidence-building drive for Marian Central Catholic.
That's exactly right, Tom, and that's what you need if you're going to win the state title. And what a great pass that was on 4th down that we saw John Budmeyer throw to the end zone on the flood pattern, just shy of the goal line to Aaron Lloyd. And we got the fans on both sides, as we can see, are back into this football game.
An 80-yard drive, even more of a confidence builder.
No doubt about it. Mixing the run and the pass together in similar fashion that we've seen the Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones moving the football out of that spread.
So 36 seconds, you see the drive taking nearly 5 minutes.
15 plays, huh?
Yeah. And a 4th down conversion along the way as well.
Huge. I think they'll probably bounce it around right now a little bit instead of giving the Cyclones a chance for the run back. We'll see.
Well, you want to keep it away in that case from Keenan Gilpin.
No doubt.
Because he returned one 90 yards in the semifinals a week ago. Wise choice, takes a bounce.
Uh-oh.
And to the 25-yard line on the return for Rob Mosier. So it'll be Cyclones ball, Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin, 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line.
And usually with 31 seconds left, you'd say, well, hey, we're going to go in here at 14-7, but we're just not too sure right now with this Sacred Heart Griffin offense. They like the spread. They'll mix it up, and we'll see. They're used to this kind of situation. Might be able to hit a ball underneath a deep route and run upfield with it and get a shot with a field goal with the wind at their backs.
So Brenheisen, a lot of real estate ahead of him. He's got time. And a catch made at the 36-yard line. Catch made by Gilpin. Correction. Catch made by Mike Edwards.
Yep, Edwards. Here we have a chance to see Edwards. We got to scramble out to the right side, keeping the ball alive. And there's Edwards right there, number 33, making a great catch, looking the ball in. And Bobby Brenheisen really knows how to do it. And here's another one.
Finds Edwards again. He turns it upfield and crosses the 50 to the 49-yard line.
And with a timeout, or with the high school rules, they might have a shot at one more medium range pass and then call a timeout and give a shot for the field goal.
8 seconds remaining. 8 seconds remaining.
And you notice he's going for those 10, 15 yarders instead of the deep bombs.
So the Cyclones take their final timeout of the first half with 8 seconds remaining. And this is where you kind of used to diagram one in the sand, the bottle cap and the glass, and you go along, because this may be your proverbial Hail Mary. No pun intended, with two parochial schools here.
And Ken Leonard, of course, wants his team to get a shot at one more completion and then call a timeout or spike the ball. Probably go with, again, maybe a medium range route. We'll see. We could see a wheel route of some kind where they run I'll tell you what, be nice to see a weak side pattern, maybe like that skinny post back to the back side. because a lot of times defense will overplay the triple receiver side, and if he looks off the defense, he might have a shot at throwing something on that skinny pulse, which usually is over the linebackers. He's got 4 receivers to the one side of the field, and the receiver all isolated by themselves on this down at the bottom of the screen.
Looks like they're just going to rush 3 defensively. Brenheisen puts it up long, and it is Gilpin incomplete.
Gosh.
He had his hands on the football. He was in the end zone, but he could not hang on. He was among 2 defenders there for Woodstock. Marian Central, watch it again. He nearly pulls off a spectacular catch.
That was the Hail Mary, and boy, he's got a great arm. Brenheisen lets it fly. Went to the triple receiver side. It's like a track meet here. Excellent coverage. Sandwich back there by the number 7 and 84. Good defense by Nico Aguilar, and also number 84, Aaron Lloyd, to make a good play and get up for that ball, and we might have a shot at one more of those.
1 second left on the clock. Second down and 10.
To throw. You got to get some pressure on him.
Again, Brenheisen throwing it, and Edwards never knew the ball was coming his way. And that's going to be it. It's incomplete. The first half is over, but a heck of a first half. The game beginning to settle into that contest we thought we could have.
Exactly.
A 1-score game. The difference, 14-7. The Cyclones over the Hurricane, and appropriately are on a breezy day here in Central Illinois. So Sacred Heart Griffin looking to pick up back-to-back state championships. Marian Central Catholic looking for its 5th state championship overall. Let's send it down to the sidelines, and Sarah Kustok. Sarah.
Thanks, Coach. You keep Marian Catholic Central out of the end zone until the last minute of the game. You're calling those 2 timeouts. What are you trying to put together for your team?
Well, we just, we got to shut them down, and if we shut them down, we win. But they're a good team, and we just got to. They had a heck of a drive there, 17 plays or 15 plays, and nobody's done that against us this year. And so we know we're in a fight, and we think we can move the ball, and so we've got some things. I'm sure they think they got some things. So this is the big key is this second half opening series.
You're moving the ball well on offense, like you said. What do you need to keep doing in this second half to continue that?
We just need to mix it up and make the plays when we got a chance, and we'll be fine. We just got to step it up a little bit on defense.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck for the second half. Back to you guys.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much. At halftime, Sacred Heart Griffin in a battle of unbeatens, leading by 7, 14-7.
Back in Champaign, and we've got a good one in the 5A state championship game. Sacred Heart Griffin leading Marian Central Catholic 14-7 here at the half. I'm Lee Hall back at Memorial Stadium, and we welcome you back here for our 5A halftime. Let's go downstairs and check in with Sarah Kustok.
Thanks, Lee. Well, I'm here with Christine Creighton from the Illinois Army Guard, Illinois Army National Guard. I'm messing myself up here all day today. Christine, tell me about you guys being out here today and your support for this Illinois High School State Championship football series.
Okay, basically, we're here from Illinois. We support all of these high schools, so we're out here showing our support, doing what we can, show our support for the local high schools in Illinois.
And Christine, what are some of the scholarship opportunities that high school student athletes have with the reserve?
It's not just athletes that we give scholarships to. It's anybody that wants to go to an Illinois state-funded college gets 100% college tuition paid for.
And what are some of the procedures that go into getting that done?
There's a couple standardized tests that you have to pass to get into the military, with any military. One is the ASVAB, the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test. That's a written exam. You must score a 31 or higher to get into the military, as well as a physical exam.
And Christine, yesterday we had you guys out here. They promised me that I would get a ride in the Hummer behind you, and that didn't happen. So I'm hoping maybe today we could get...
Since I'm here today, I
we could get that done. You might want to catch that during this halftime break. We might have to do that. But thank you for being out here today and supporting the Illinois High School State Football Championships. Lee, back to you guys.
All right, Sarah, thanks a lot. My daughter Carrie is in the Army National Guard, so way to go, Carrie, and way to go, Army National Guard. We are back upstairs, and we are joined once again by our cohorts, Greg Bradshaw, the former Northwestern quarterback, won a state championship with Woodstock in 1983, and Paul Parpet, the head coach at Addison Trail High School here in Illinois. And gentlemen, your quick thoughts on that first half?
Well, I think what we saw is a pretty even football game. Sacred Heart Griffin jumped out to the early lead. Marian had a nice drive at the end of the half to get within one score, and pretty good defense played, and I think we're going to have a good football game in the second half.
Coach, a big difference between 14-0 and 14-7 at the half. Marian Central has to feel pretty good about themselves going into the break.
Right, at the beginning of the game, I thought this was going to be a pretty good defensive struggle, and then Marian Central Catholic, they put together a very impressive drive to end that first half and then held off Sacred Heart Griffin. And, you know, as I was watching Marian Central Catholic, it must be something, Greg, up there in Woodstock with all these players who could throw the ball as well as they do.
Yeah, John Budmeyer can throw it as a sophomore.
I was very impressed with that drive, and now Central Catholic has momentum going into the second half.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. 14-7 our score here at the half. Sacred Heart Griffin leading Marian Central Catholic. Back with more right after this. Absolutely gorgeous day here in Champaign-Urbana. Halftime of the 5A state championship games. Sacred Heart Griffin leading Marian Central Catholic 14-7. Lee Hall along with Greg Bradshaw and Paul Parpet. And time now for our first half scoring recap brought to us by Baker Square. And visit Baker Square to make your Christmas pie reservation today or order online at bakersquare.com. Not a lot of scoring to talk about. Josh Gossard with the 2 touchdown runs for Sacred Heart, 6 yards and 4 yards. And then it was Budmeyer with the sneak for Central Catholic to make it 14-7 here at the half. Our stats recap is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. We're going to look at those numbers in just a second, guys. But things pretty even here as we are at the break.
Yeah, you can look at the stats right there. First downs, 12-10. Really, yardage, most of that yardage for Marian Central Catholic coming in that last drive. But early, I think the Sacred Heart Griffin offense coach really got it going.
Yes, and I think that the team that's going to come out on top of this ball game is going to be the one that's going to stop the other one, because I think there are 2 explosive offenses, and to eliminate the big play, to make it this far in the state tournament, you have to have a good defense, and both these teams have a good defense, and they have the ability to make a big play.
40 penalty yards for Sacred Heart Griffin, but that hasn't seemed to hurt them thus far. But look at the time of possession. Sacred Heart Griffin doing a lot with less time.
Yeah, well, they're throwing the ball a little bit more. Bernyson is really, you saw the talent that he has. He can deliver the ball under pressure. He can deliver the ball when they give him good time. He's accurate and makes really good decisions, and that's been successful for them, moving the chains, getting in the end zone twice.
Coach, when you're in there at halftime and you're trying to make adjustments, how tough is that to go in there and kind of figure out what's working, what's not, and then change things?
Well, the first thing, I believe that you have to look at yourself, and you have to see what's working and what you feel comfortable with and what your players feel comfortable with. And I'm sure that both Sacred Heart Griffin and Marian Central Catholic will do that. And then it's going to come down to eliminating the big play and stopping the other team.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for your insight as always. We will talk to you just a little bit later, and we will have third quarter action coming your way from Memorial Stadium. We've got another good one. We had a good one in 6A as Normal Community outlasted Batavia, and now we are in 5A, and it's Sacred Heart Griffin with the 1 touchdown lead here at the half over Marian Central Catholic. Back with more from Sam.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. We're at halftime. Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin leads by a touchdown at 14-7. The Cyclones looking for their second consecutive state championship. Let's take a look at the first half highlights brought to you by Baker Square, as we see that first in this ball game, it was Sacred Heart Griffin. Jim really had a chance to grab control of this game.
Well, they really did, and they've been mixing in the run and pass, and a great run here down to the goal line, setting it up out of their spread formation. And we will have a beautiful fake there by Brunheisen as he comes off on the spread formation, faking the inside and keeping it to the outside. And looks like the touchdown, a beautiful block there thrown by his left tackle as they break in the end zone. Josh Gossard with a score.
And Gossard again with the score. Finally, Marian Central came back with an 80-yard drive, making it a 7-point ball game. And Jim, I thought it was very interesting to see how Marian Central Catholic made the adjustments, going to a spread formation, and that's where they found most of their success.
They really did. In fact, the two teams look very similar, and they're both mixing up the run and the pass very well. In that last drive, that 80-yard drive, we just saw a great combination of run and throw. And like we heard our guys mention, it's going to be, we haven't had a turnover, so a turnover is critical, could be a big difference changer. And field position, the shorter field. If one of these teams starts to give the other the short field, that could be a difference in the outcome of the game.
Let's revisit our Chevy keys of the game. And again, for Sacred Heart Griffin, I got to think that so far Bobby Brunice is making good choices.
He's making great choices. We haven't had any interceptions. They have done a pretty good job of shutting that run down and forcing the Hurricanes to go to a spread formation. They did not get off to the fast start, but that's not because they're doing anything wrong. That's just because this is two great teams playing each other. For Marian Central Catholic, put pressure on the quarterback. Well, I don't think they've done that too often. We did see a little pressure on the release of the ball, but not enough to give Brent Heisen problems. Score in the red zone. They failed to do that the first time. They came up with no points whatsoever. Otherwise, we could be tied at 14 apiece. And fourth quarter stamina, that remains to be seen. But what we're referring to there are the 6 two-way players that Marian Central Catholic has on the field. I know one thing, their coaches will say that they don't want to have any regrets. And at the halftime, get out and play hard, because this is the last half of football you seniors are going to play in high school.
I thought a couple of things that Ken Leonard said was very telling. Number one, nobody ran the ball on an 80-yard drive on them all season. That had to be a real wake-up call for the Cyclones defense.
Well, that's very true. And I mean, when you get two teams that have played this kind of competition, we have to remember that Marian Central Catholic beat the 4A champs, Driscoll, 21-0. So, I mean, and I don't think that the Hurricanes have seen a football team like Sacred Heart Griffin either. So, I mean, that's why this is just a great football game. It's going to be won or lost here in the second half.
And Ken also said, first series of the second half, be very critical. That'll be coming up after we take this timeout from Memorial Stadium here in Champaign. Welcome back to halftime, as halftime about to finish up here at Memorial Stadium. Tom Stalker, Jim Covert with you. A 7-point game, and the last 2 quarters of the Class 5A season about to unfold. Let's head it down to the sideline. Sarah.
Thanks. Coach, you go to that spread offense. You have a critical drive that you get a score on the end of that half. How do you keep that momentum for your offense this second half?
We're going to try to do some of the same stuff here the second half, and hopefully our defense can shut them down a little bit. We gave up a couple scores early, but we're going to give it a shot and see what we can do.
Do you have any tweaks or adjustments on defense to try and keep them out of the end zone?
Yeah, we've changed a couple of things that we're trying to do because they went to that bubble screen, so we'll see if it works.
Coach, good luck this second half. Thank you. Guys, back up to you.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much. There's that word bubble again. Keeps popping up all over the place.
That was a bubble screen. They hit 3 or 4 times in a row, and the last time we saw it, Devin Cusick almost got in the throwing lane. So we're in store for a great second half, I think, and it's been a well-played game. No penalties hardly. A total of 50 yards between both teams. Turnovers. Everybody's been taking care of the ball. And both of these quarterbacks, and we take our head off to John Budmeyer. He's not playing like a sophomore. He's showing some of the same good decision-making as the senior quarterback and championship quarterback Bobby Bresnan, had last year and now again this year.
Well, we talked about the veteran coach after coaching at Woodstock, Ed Brucker. Now, after 9 years at Woodstock, his 4th year with Marian Central Catholic, an admitted filmaholic. This guy goes over more film than Ebert and Roper do. And he has that knack of finding things in the film. He has a way of that second sense of being able to anticipate things. Most veteran coaches do that. Ken Leonard, you could say the same thing. He may not be as much of a film room guy, but he has obviously been such a quality coach at two different schools.
And looking at film is great to get you started, but the key will be for halftime adjustments and things they want to emphasize, things that are working well, like Paul Parpet had mentioned. You want to keep doing those and try to do something to stop the other team or make the big play on defense.
For example, you mentioned going over film. I don't think they saw Springfield Griffin saw too many films showing Woodstock Marian Central Catholic in that wide open formation. They probably didn't have too much film of that.
That's exactly right. But one thing is that they're certainly familiar with the Cyclones running it themselves. The best team to defend the spread is a team that runs the spread. And so when you run an offense, you really understand it. So we'll see what happens. That's why they play the game. But this first drive right now by Marian Central Catholic is critical. And if they get 3 and out against them and have to kick into the wind again, that's not a good sign as Edwards is ready to kick off here.
The wind seems to have increased. It is a factor from your right to left on your screen. Edwards' kick sailing towards Aguilar. He'll run it out from the 5, fakes the reverse. Aguilar keeps, cuts inside a block, and he's to the 29-yard line.
Nice tackle there by number 18. Grant Anderson.
25 yards on the return. They have run that kick return before where they've made the handoff and have come up with a big, and they've usually done that, Marian Central Catholic, starting a half. Similar situation to that. But now let's see what John Bud Mayer can do from his 29-yard line. Their scoring drive in the first half was 80 yards. Here, they'll need just 71 to hit pay dirt. On a blitz, Peckinpah straight ahead to the 32-yard line, and he picks up 3.
Right off the bat, Hurricanes come out with the running game and that spread formation, and that's another benefit to spreading the defense out and hitting some passes, that you have a chance to run the ball behind a good offensive line now without as many defensive linemen up front.
2nd and 7. Pert and Aguilar go to the far side. Aguilar was the man in motion. He gets the catch. Hit immediately by David Cavish and then helped out by several teammates, including Mike Steeran at the 37-yard line, a gain of 5.
And we'll see the motion man receiving the ball, and there's Cavish rolled up once again along with his teammate Mike Steeran, number 9, pursuing.
So it'll set up a 3rd and 2.
Big play
for the Hurricanes.
Early in the third quarter here, big play.
Lloyd and Aguilar to the near side. In a 4-man spread formation, Aguilar in motion. Bud Meyer's rolling that way, and the catch made, and a penalty marker thrown on the tackle at the 45-yard line. With the catch, Jordan Pert, the 5'11" junior.
And they're going to get another 15 off of that, as Pert made a great catch and held on, got wrapped up around the helmet, probably got the face mask.
Penalties didn't seem to bother the Cyclones in the first half, as Lee brought out at halftime, but this is going to really help this drive. A big gain on the play, plus 15.
Incidental face mask on the defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Wow.
Okay, went with the incidental face mask and a great catch there.
Whoa.
Well, it almost looked like he had him under the chin, but 5 yards extra on the game. Play.
Peckinpah hit hard as he crossed the 50. Edwards there to greet him. He had the big hit in there, along with Leonard Hubbard. Stopped him at that 47-yard line after a gain of 3.
We see Joe Peckinpah kind of holding his shoulder there. Took a good shot on that tackle.
You're seeing some good, hard-hitting football, both sides of the ball in this game this afternoon.
Very physical game.
So the sophomore John Bud Mayer, they've continued with the shotgun offense, 4 wideouts. And once again, Aguilar, the man in motion. Looking for Aguilar. Intercepted, it appeared to be by Cavish. It is.
It is.
It's Cyclones football at the 14-yard line on the interception by David Cavish.
And David Cavish had Nico Aguilar covered. Here's the motion man again going up the sideline like a double post and then a wheel route. He snaps his head around, gets up to the highest point, has perfect position. You can't play it any better than that. That is, we talked about turnovers. There's our first one, and it stops the Hurricanes' drive.
Cavish, who's come up with big plays offensively, comes up with one defensively here, and now they'll switch over, and he'll become a wide receiver on 1st and 10. Keenan Gilpin sweeping around, gets a nice key block from Peterson, and he's forced out of bounds across the way outside the 30-yard line. Big kick-out block by Peterson, 16 yards for Gilpin.
And you saw it, Tom. That was a great one. We'll see here. Nice job of getting inside out by number 24 Peterson as Gilpin gets good yardage. And we have a quick turn of events here after the interception.
In a lot of offenses, especially those that run high formations or pro sets, you usually have one guy that's primarily the blocking back. Here, all their receivers and backs are blocking backs. Trying to pick his way through up the middle is Josh Gossard, the 5'11 junior. Spun down just across the 30-yard line, maybe a gain of a yard.
Big George Harina involved in that tackle at 295 pounds, put quite a jolt defensively into the running back. Hurricanes could use a turnover or something themselves right now, a strip of the ball or punch a ball out or pick one off.
2nd down and 8 for Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin, the defending 5A champions. They fake to Gilpin, another fake. Here's Brentheisen throwing long, and it's caught by Cavish. Oh, did Brentheisen put that ball right on the numbers? Tackled on the play by Lloyd, but what a catch, 52 yards on the big play.
Beautiful ball, and we'll see a double fake off this. Brentheisen letting some air under the ball as Cavish runs to it. He's got a step, great concentration, and that's why they're down here, and that's why they have such a great record this season, being able to come up with a clutch play.
Good job also, though, defensively by Lloyd. Well, you saw how quickly he broke to the ball and closed in on the play. From the 17, here's the sweep. Gilpin breaks one tackle, has a block to the 10, inside the 5,
touchdown.
And the tackle carries him into the end zone for a touchdown. Gilliland hit him outside the goal line.
They ran the same play back to this side that they had previously. Chris Peterson got a block, and Gilpin, we'll see, really making something go as he cuts underneath, spins right here, will get contact, keeps his legs alive, and breaks the plane of the end zone.
He took a hit from Pappas.
And he took a hit also, from Pappas, and Brian Balaga also reached out and had a shot at him.
Excellent execution on all points of the attack there by the Cyclones. Edwards will try the point after and try to put his team back up by 14. It is a 21-7 lead for Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin. They score on their first possession of the 3rd quarter. Back with more from Memorial Stadium after a timeout.
Have a chance here to see the touchdown run. Excellent job by Gilpin as he works his way through to the left side. Spins, there's contact, but we didn't wrap up. That's one thing TJ Pappas will remember when he watches this video. Yeah. He had a shot at him, but he didn't wrap him up. Good running backs keep their legs alive.
One thing you didn't see was how that play started with the double fake in the backfield and how that play was set up by previous plays. The reverse to Gilpin, right. Also straight handoffs to the lone running back. That's when the coaches talk about setting up a play.
Right, the
classic
play action
example.
Game goes right with it, and that was an excellent run. And now, once again, Marian Central Catholic needs get some field position.
Now the handoff this time goes to Aaron Lloyd. And Lloyd breaks to the clear, spun down at the 33-yard line. They did hand off the reverse that time. Edwards on the tackle, 32 yards on the play. Down to the sidelines, and Sarah Kustok.
Thanks. Well, Coach Brucker been through the trenches in his career. He knows what it takes to win, and he's been a composed coach this entire game. But after that last touchdown, he was fired up and yelling to his team, "You have got to make a play." Earlier this week, he noted defense wins championships, and I think he knows that he's got to get his team to play defense if they want to win today.
Thank you, Sarah. And now they got to get the offense in gear. They're once again down by 2 scores. Polizzi, the man in motion. The toss goes to the lone running back, and Peckinpah had to let one of his blockers clear. That slowed up the play. And a gain, in fact, a loss on the play back to the 31-yard line. Loss of 2. Scoring drive, look at that.
Yep, so that wasn't much of a drive. That's called big plays, and that long pass set it up. And 51-yard catch by Cavish off that double fake. Bobby Bruneisen really put that ball on the money, didn't he? Let the receiver run under it. We hopefully just have a cramp here. Looks like a calf cramp.
That's Sean Johnson, a 5'11" senior defensive lineman who's being tended to right now. 8:01 remaining in the third quarter. After coming up empty on its first drive, in fact, the first drive ending in the interception, that triggered a 69-yard counter there by Sacred Heart Griffin, with Gilpin scoring and putting him back up 21-7.
Looks like Sean Johnson's okay, and he'll probably be back in to put some pressure on the quarterback, John Budmeyer.
All right, Budmeyer facing a 2nd and 12 as the shadows grow ever longer across the turf at Memorial Stadium. Budmeyer's got time. Pass complete to the near side to Polizzi. Tried to avoid stepping out of bounds, and he did, and he was able to get up to the 39-yard line before he was tackled by Mike Edwards.
Nice sideline route here. John Budmeyer throwing the out route. Well timed out. Had to be thrown properly because there was tight coverage once again by Mr. on the spot, David Cavish.
So Polizzi with the reception, and it'll be 3rd down and 4 yards to go.
Very critical play once again. You know, the game's starting to shorten. We're at 7 minutes left here in the third quarter. He got a man up to the top all by himself.
Marian's 3 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. Budmeyer throws. Having come back to the ball was Lloyd. It was underthrown. He couldn't hold on to it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And what we're seeing here as we see the comeback pattern, timing is over the top. There's a nice throwing lane. Just a little bit low. Would have been a great catch if he'd made it by Aaron Lloyd. But we're kind of seeing Marian Central Catholic forced out of what they did to get here, you know. I mean, Sacred Heart Griffin always runs the spread, throws the ball a lot, and we're seeing the Hurricanes having to kind of throw the ball a lot more to move the football.
Peckinpah with the punt against the wind. Fair catch called for by Gilpin. He fumbles the ball. And I think Marian Central's got it. They do. The Hurricanes get the turnover.
Nico Aguilar, the man on the spot, number 7, made the recovery. That's what they needed. That's what Marian Central Catholic needed. Last drive, they head through the interception. Now all of a sudden we get a turnover on the other side of the ball.
Sacred Heart Griffin didn't make too many mistakes this year. They were plus 13 on takeaway giveaways coming into the game.
And we'll see Nico Aguilar come up here, and there's the ball on the ground, and number 7's all over it. Let's see if the Hurricanes can take advantage.
New life for Marian Central Catholic, but it immediately was Peckinpah, spun down to the ground by Mike Steeren. It was starting in a 2nd consecutive state championship game.
And Steeren did a great job. He penetrated inside of the kickout block that time. TJ Pappas threw a nice block, but Steeren got to the inside gap, disrupting that play. The Hurricanes really are trying to keep mixing that run in with the pass. They just have not been able to establish the running game.
Now you see them go back to their more conventional I formation. Off the play action. Budmeyer throwing, and there was pass interference at the 25-yard line clearly, as Jordan Pert was hit early by Joe Marian out of the secondary.
And Joe Marian got there too early. You know, as a secondary coach, you want your guys to be aggressive, but as you can see there, he had the receiver wrapped up way before the ball got there, and that's a big penalty. And now we're starting to see, you know, from an error-free first half into, you know, as the pressure gets going in the game and it gets tighter,
Pass
guys get excited.
On the defense, first down.
The pass play would have gone for about 10 yards. Instead, it goes for 15 on the penalty to the 21-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes.
Coming out with that double tight end I formation.
Bud Mayer rolling out, throwing, intercepted. Intercepted again by David Cavish, his second of the game, and he's still on his feet. He crosses the field. He's got one man to beat, and he's forced out of bounds by Jordan Pert.
I'll tell you, there's a flag down, and I'm not sure what it is we're going to see, but David Cavish, they ought to be running some sideline and ups on him. He's so aggressive. Great pick as the ball was intended for Ryan Palizzi. There's a flag on the play. We'll see what it was.
Well, let's wait and see.
Great effort. Cavish directing traffic, trying to pick up an extra block as he's run out of bounds.
It looks like it's going to be a pass interference call against the defender, David Cavish. He may have had a little hold on the jersey of the intended receiver.
On the return, illegal block in the back.
Okay.
10-yard penalty.
So the interception stands. Let's take a timeout, 6 minutes to go, and a big turnover in the game. Back with more from Champaign after this. So for the second time in this quarter, a Hurricane drive snuffed out by a David Cavish interception for Sacred Heart Griffin. The penalty puts the ball back to the 13-yard line, and so Bobby Brenneisen and company will put it back in play. They converted a touchdown drive after the previous interception by Cavish. And let's see what they do here with 6:01 remaining in the quarter. Brenneisen out of that spread formation. Gives the handoff up the middle to Josh Gossard, 5'11" junior. Came into this game with 425 yards on the ground and had 34 yards in this game before that carry.
Brian Bulaga, two-way starter, in on the tackle. Going to University of Iowa. In fact, all of these colleges shortly will be on the recruiting trails.
They'll need some of that Iowa corn-fed beef to keep that guy growing in Iowa City. Here is Gilpin on the sweep. Gilpin dragged down from behind at the 21-yard line. Sean Swinar over to make the stop along with others.
Sean Swinar is a junior and he's 285 pounds. Look at the effort and mobility of this young man. Great play. He really looks up to Brian Bulaga. One's a senior, one's a junior. And in fact, as soon as they finished their 4-5 season last year, they were kind of the leaders, and they said, let's get in the weight room and started working at it. And here they are with a great record, but they got their hands full with Sacred Heart Griffin.
Cyclones are 0 for 2 in third down conversions today. It's 3rd and 2. The handoff with the carry, Chris Peterson. And he has the first down and then some to the 30-yard line. And a fresh set of downs.
And Chris Peterson starts the ball out to his left and breaks it back to the right side. Great vision and nice effort to getting the first down. He actually did not break where the hole was intended to be.
A little ad-libbing then on the play as he got more than enough for the first down, and it's 1st and 10 for Sacred Heart Griffin from the 30-yard line as we near 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Brenneisen again. Peterson with the handoff. Shoots through a hole. And he's up to the 42-yard line before he was brought down by Jack Gilliland. A gain of 12 yards and another first down.
And we'll see Peterson come underneath the trap block right there. And he's tagged by Pappas, but keeps his feet alive and protects the ball well. And this is what the Cyclones need right now as we see another shot of that contact. They're moving the football and eating some clock up.
Peterson again. Oh, hit hard, stood up as he tried the right side of the line. Linebacker Jack Gilliland again with the stop, stopping him for a gain of 2 yards, bringing up 2nd down and 8.
And Coach Leonard right now is trying to shorten this game up. Just get that clock ticking away. He's got a 2-touchdown lead. And the way things have been going, he's trying to run the football and eat some clock right now. But I think we'll see some type of pass coming up on this 3rd down and 7.
They look to the sidelines where the play is signaled in. And Brent Eisen quickly unloads it on the far side to Cavish. Cavish out of bounds across the way.
Nice block by his teammate Mike Edwards out there as Brent Eisen throws the ball out into the flat. A kick-out block by 33. Edwards, and a nice run there by David Cavish. He's really done a lot on both sides of the football, hasn't he?
Cavish 83 yards receiving today. He's gone over 1,000 yards receiving for the year.
2 interceptions in the second half. Really made a difference, his play here in the second half. 3rd and a yard.
Brent Eisen went over 5,000 yards for his career earlier this season. And a penalty marker thrown across the way at the line of scrimmage.
And they have the sticks at 3rd down. I think it's 4th.
Scoreboard also showing 3rd down.
Illegal shift.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense. 1st down.
Wow.
Costly mistake there.
That shift actually made the defense jump into the neutral zone.
On October the 6th, Brent Eisen threw for 385 yards and 5 touchdowns and put him over 5,000 yards for his career. Slamming the ball up the middle, Chris Peterson, their leading rusher, coming into the game. And he twisted and turned his way to the 42-yard line. Picked up 2, 2nd and 8.
Matt Mass leading that play as a pulling lineman. Offensive line doing a nice job against a really good defensive front. Nice look there at number 75, Matt Israel. They pull him quite a bit for 255 pounds. He moves very well.
He also saw action in last year's state championship. Gilpin's the man in motion. He gets the handoff again on that flanker reverse and is ridden out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Picked up about 5 yards or so on the play and stopped the clock with 3:06 remaining.
And of course, running to the outside, we'll see Gilpin get the ball underneath with Peterson blocking out front. There's number 70 once again, Matt Mass, and they get some good yardage. Only bad thing, they went out of bounds and the clock stops.
Yeah,
that's a favor for the Hurricanes.
That was the only negative thing on the play. 3rd and 6 as Brent Eisen looks over the Hurricanes defense.
He's got him open on the outside.
Yeah, you can hear the coaches coaching up here as Brent Eisen decides to run it, and he's going to be short of the 1st down yardage, but a late flag thrown on the tackle, and that might be a costly personal foul penalty and a 1st down.
There's going to be a late hit call here as we have a chance to see Bobby Brent Eisen looking around. Doesn't just throw the ball up for grabs, scrambles to the right side, makes a good cut, and then later in the play, you can't see it on the tight shot, we get a late hit unsportsmanlike.
Huge. They had stopped him short.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense. Penalized 15 yards, 1st down.
That's a shame because the play is just about over.
Play is over there.
Down now. It's going to come in right there. That's it right there. Number 2 gets put on his back after the play, and that's that's Rob Mosier, the wide receiver. Got knocked down after the whistle.
So it's 1st and 10, and a penalty marker thrown before the play starts. Referee Bill Lang.
Dead ball, illegal substitution on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Well, we had an error-free first half, and we've had turnovers, we've had penalties here in the second half, all big part of the football game.
Brenneisen hands off to Peterson, bounces off a blocker, and scoots up through a hole to about the 18-yard line. Not too many times in the regular season, this part of the game has Griffin seen and been in this kind of a situation.
Well, that's right, and they're really running the ball, making an effort. There's Peterson making a nice move upfield, double covering the football, getting a good surge up front. And if they can just keep chewing up 5 yards a carry, they're going to be in great shape.
So sometimes in the flurry of all these formations and substitutions, they got the illegal substitution. Brenneisen off the fake, throws, penalty marker thrown, pass is complete, and out of bounds on the near sidelines is Leonard Hubbard.
Little dump off out in the flat to Leonard Hubbard. We have another flag.
Hubbard, who's one of their starting linebackers, but again, penalty marker thrown. Under 2 minutes now for the third quarter. A 21-7 lead for Sacred Heart Griffin, looking to pick up its second consecutive 5A state championship. This one, though, looks like it's going to be against the Cyclones as they talk it over with defensive captain Brian Balaga.
Illegal formation on the offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
So that's 2 illegal formations and 1 illegal substitution.
Well,
they're getting a little rattled.
Yeah, and what's funny is they're running more of the simple game right now. They're running the football. They're not in as many different sets. So let's see what they do here as they come out with trips to one side and at the bottom of the screen, the single receiver.
Second and a bunch for Brenneisen. Throws near side. The catch made and inbounds. Rob Mosier got the foot down before he went out of bounds.
Excellent concentration by Mosier on that. They went to the weak side. Brenneisen throws the ball on the out route. Perfectly timed, great concentration. There's the foot in. All you need is 1 foot in high school and college.
Just shy of the first down. It'll be third and less than a yard.
Coverage was excellent there, but a well-timed ball on a route like that, that's the key.
Ball is at the 14 of Marian Central Catholic.
Stamina in the fourth quarter. Let's see if the Hurricanes have it.
Here is Josh Gossard. He scored 2, twisting down to the 3-yard line. Twisting and finding his way, was hit by Alex Roethlisberger, but he still was able to just power his way to the 3-yard line to make it first and goal.
And Josh Gossard, like all of the running backs, is right on contact. There he spins. There's 1, 2, 3 guys, and he gets about 7 yards total yardage after first contact. Just a real nice job of changing direction, keeping his legs alive.
Brenneisen with Hubbard and now Gossard. Here's Gossard trying to go right side, and he's driven back. They'll probably give him progress on the play to the 4-yard line, meaning they lost a yard on the play.
Two-way starter T.J. Pappas in on that tackle, made a nice job of wrapping him up. Remember earlier we mentioned about how he made good contact, didn't wrap him up that time. He really wrapped up the running back.
14th play of this drive, and it's a drive that's been over 5 minutes since the second of Caversh's interceptions. Here is Brenneisen keeping. Cuts inside and scores.
Nifty move, very nifty.
Looked like he was going to take it and head to the near pylon, and then he just kind of slowed down and cut back to his right and scored.
And great ball faking here by Bobby Brenneisen. There you see Balaga, Brian Balaga. He cuts inside of him, gets north and south, and just makes an exceptional cut. What a drive.
Brenneisen with his 6th rushing touchdown of the year. And Edwards will try to make it a 3-touchdown lead. He does, 28-7 with 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. So 2 scoring drives, both of them ignited by turnovers, interceptions, both of them by David Cavish.
And actually those interceptions were just great coverage, playing an out route, playing a fade route perfectly, you know, and earn those interceptions, and then to create the touchdowns off them. That's just what you love to see as a coach.
Let's head to the sidelines and Sarah Kustok.
Thanks, guys. Well, I'm here with the president and the principal of Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin. And first of all, tell me what this does, coming to the state championship, do for your community and for the school.
Well, it's just wonderful, and it's just a reinforcement of we're academic excellence and a community of faith, and this is just one of the aspects of excellence, and so we're really grateful.
And we know the importance of high school sports, not only about what they do on the field, but as people. What are these guys like on the sidelines?
Actually, they're really nice guys, good students, active in all phases of school activities, you know, clubs, the sports, and mostly in the classroom, just being participative.
Well, thanks for coming out to support your team. We're glad to have you here. We're going to get back to the action. Back to you.
The Fighting Sisters from Sacred Heart Griffin.
And I'm sure you could say the same about those Marian Central Catholic students. That's an outstanding school up there in Woodstock. Same types of young men in the program.
The kick from Edwards. Aguilar caught it on the run up to the 30 and brought down on the far side by Sacred Heart Griffin's Mitch Murphy. And if there was a must drive in this game, as we take a look, another 5-minute plus drive in this quarter. So both their scoring drives over 5 minutes. That's over 10 minutes of a 12-minute quarter.
That's just what Coach Leonard loves to see in the 14 plays. I'm sure he didn't like to see the penalties, but they overcame them, and now Marian Central Catholic can't hit the panic button, but they need to start with just getting a few first downs.
Bud Mayer handing it off, and nothing much at all for Joe Peckinpah. The 5'9" senior, averaging over 5 yards a carry, entering today's state championship game. He was stopped for no gain.
Nick Taylor, he's playing both sides of the ball, number 64, you know, at 265 pounds. He's showing a lot of stamina on his side of the line of scrimmage.
That's going to be the final play of the quarter. Marian Central Catholic will have the wind at its back, but down by 3 touchdowns with 12 minutes of football left to go. Back with the fourth quarter from Champaign after we take a timeout. A tournament 100 years in the running, a book 100 years in the making. The IHSA proudly announces 100 years of March Madness, the most complete history of March Madness ever published. Pre-order now at IHSA.org or call area code 309-663-6377. Ned Kelly's of Urbana serves their steaks like you want. All their steaks are steroid-free, all natural. For the best steaks in the area, visit Ned Kelly's in Urbana. 1 quarter to go. The sophomore quarterback, John Budmeyer, completes it over the middle to Ryan Polizzi, who's dragged out of bounds at the 46-yard line on the near side by Leonard Hubbard. Hubbard's made some big stops in short yardage situations for them this year.
Ryan Polizzi running a flat cross pattern, gets extra yardage after the catch and out of bounds, keeps the clock stopped. The shorter passes, as long as they can get some run yardage after the catch, is what probably the Hurricanes should be looking for, because we know that the Cyclones have been playing real good on the deep end of the deep ball.
And Hubbard is down and hurt right on the near sidelines in the middle of the Marian Central Catholic bench. Stopping the clock with 11:54 to play. Smart play by Polizzi to get out of bounds at the end of the play to preserve some time on the clock.
Got another cramp, and you know, we're not complaining about this weather. This is fantastic weather, but a little bit warmer and a little more chance of getting dehydrated here, especially when your motor's going full go.
Our stats recap brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Through 3 quarters, you see rushing Griffin with 162 yards, 226 yards passing, while Marian Central Catholic just about 128 yards total. 2 big turnovers for the Hurricane. And again, penalties haven't really seemed to stop the Cyclones. And time of possession still on the Hurricane side of the ledger, but they're still down 3 scores.
That's exactly right. They don't keep track of the time of possession on the scoreboard.
11:54 to go in the game. Bud Mayer throwing, diving catch on the near side. Nice diving catch made on the near side by Nico Aguilar, as he's to the 49 of Sacred Heart Griffin. It'll be second down. And about 4 yards to go. Bud Mayer again to throw. Nice comeback pattern, caught at the 39-yard line by Jordan Pert. Covered on the play by Gossard.
Gossard had excellent coverage here, but Bud Mayer is really putting the ball in the money. Shorter, intermediate routes.
First down stops the clock, and that's significant even this early in this quarter with over 11 minutes to go. Bud Mayer again dragging Polizzi across the middle on the pattern, and Polizzi makes the catch, and again out of bounds he gets.
Number 2, Rob Mosier, in on that tackle there. Here we go with the crossing pattern, short crossing pattern. Good hit there by number 2, Rob Mosier, and he went off the sideline actually. It seemed like he had a little shoulder problem on that tackle.
Second down and 10 from the 39-yard line. And again, nice catch made by Jordan Pert on a little comeback pattern again, and excellent coverage by Gossard, but not really much he could do. The gain to the 33-yard line, picks up 6.
Just chipping away. The only thing is, when you're down by 3 scores, the Cyclones don't mind giving up those 4 or 5-yard catches and keeping that clock moving.
Clock is stopped for the moment with 11:02 remaining.
Gossard's going off the field there. Looks like he had a little cramping problem, and he's playing both sides of the football. Been running the ball a lot, and now we have a different safety coming in, number 18.
Grant Anderson.
Grant Anderson gets a chance.
Bud Mayer, again a short pattern. The catch made by Aguilar. Given progress to the 27-yard line, and a pickup of 5 and a first down. And again, they stop the clock to move the chains in high school football.
Doing a great job with the no-huddle offense, considering that they like to run the football. They certainly are well prepared for this situation.
Yeah, this is a situation they haven't had to deal with too often this year. Bud Mayer's throw overshot Polizzi, who was running a pattern at the 10-yard line.
Polizzi was open on the crossing pattern. A nice spiral thrown in that ball, just out of his reach. Good pass. If you're going to miss it, that's where you want to put the ball.
I think Polizzi would probably tell you he should have caught that ball.
Right, put that triangle out there, little fingers and thumbs together, and look it in.
So the incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10 from the 27 of Sacred Heart Griffin. The fake by Bud Mayer, but the protection collapses. He's dropped for a loss back at the 35-yard line. A loss of 8 yards.
And when you take a 3-step drop, you've got to get rid of that ball. That's intended for a fade or a hitch or a slant. And when it didn't work, he should have retreated right away and scrambled out to his right or left to buy some time.
3rd and 18. John Budmeyer with plenty of time. Incomplete. Great coverage on the play. It was intended for Pert. And what a job reaching around from behind was Josh Gossard to knock it away.
And Josh Gossard didn't stay out of the ball game for very long at safety, did he? As John Budmeyer tries to hit that medium depth route. Beautiful play there by Josh Gossard as he gets his hand in there, his lead hand, and you can't do it any better than that.
You have to be impressed the way the Cyclone secondary breaks to the football.
They really do. Cavish and Gossard both have made some of those plays. 4th
and 18, Marian Central Catholic 3 out of 4 in 4th down conversions. Budmeyer throwing, and it is caught for a first down. The defender fell down. Ryan Polizzi is out of bounds at the 11-yard line. A big first down, 27 yards on the catch. The defender fell down. They capitalized.
And they go towards Cavish. First time he's out there, number 6. He goes up for it, and his ball was perfect touch put on that ball, Ryan Polizzi, and he looked it in. As we see John Budmeyer, that's throwing the proper trajectory on a pass. just over the under coverage man.
Back to live action. Bud Mayer, he's got room to run. Takes a hit at the 9 and is brought down at the 6. Tackled by Steeren. Took a solid hit from Andrew Collins.
I haven't called Andrew Collins' name out too often today. They're very aware of him based on anything they watched last year. He's such a great tackler.
It's 2nd and 5 from the 6-yard line. And again, Bud Mayer.
Back at the end zone,
looking to find somebody. He found Palizzi. Did he score? Yes, they said he did. They said he held on to it.
Great concentration. He was at the back of the end zone, sliding along the back of the end zone. We'll have a chance to see this play. And John Budmeyer's looking back. There's Palizzi going right along the baseline. That's a good call.
Yeah,
that's a good call. He was just looking. You could see the foot inbounds.
He was dragging his left leg.
And we will see. I think he was looking for, the official was looking for possession.
Yeah.
And he did make a great catch on that.
Big score for the Hurricanes. The point after is good. They're 2 scores down now and lots of football left to go with 9:24 remaining in the 4th quarter of the 5A title game.
We might see some interesting comeback here and maybe an onside kick.
Back after this timeout. Our defensive play of the game brought to you by the Illinois Army National Guard. 1-800-GO-GUARD.
David Cavish, one of his 2 interceptions. He played that out route beautifully, takes off, and this is the interception that really set up a score and put Sacred Heart Griffin ahead. Excellent coverage.
He has 2 interceptions. Each one ignited a drive that wound up with Sacred Heart Griffin scoring after a 5-minute drive. The kick sails way over the head of Peterson. It'll come out to the 20.
And the Hurricanes are showing a little bit of patience still. Know they have got the wind at their back and elected to kick it into the end zone instead of onside kick. Probably pretty smart. Still got 9:24 left. The key now is, can they go 3 and out? We've seen Sacred Heart Griffin show the ability to run the football quite well and eat up clock. And the front defensive line is going to have to really come up big here. Brian Balaga, Sean Swinner, all of these guys right now are going to have to really dig in and stop the run.
Well, this is a defense that held that high-powered Canelan offense to just 7 points last week. And they're going to have to come up with a big stop somehow here to have a chance to pull this one out. And they bottle up that play for a gain of only a yard.
George Harina doing just what they needed there with a nice tackle on the inside. Marian Catholic, 13 plays, 68 yards. Didn't take too long. 3 minutes and 16 seconds.
And that's what they need. Quickness, efficiency.
Marian Central Catholic really got to step up defensively like they did the first down play.
2nd down and 9. Brenheisen takes that, swings it over to Gilpin. Again, the wide out screen. And he gets yardage out close to the first down marker. They say he went out of bounds at the 28. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Well, we'll see Gilpin make the catch here, and if you can't get it running, you might as well throw it and see if you can get the first down there, as Edwards throws a nice block. Downfield blocking excellent by the wide receivers, and we got a 3rd and a yard.
Now they split their tackle. 64, Taylor goes all the way over the far side of the field to join Edwards and Mosier. And this
dead ball, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's huge. That gets you a 3rd and 6 now. And that'll change the play call, I'm sure.
Taylor was going, hey, I had a chance. Wearing number 64 in a wideout position.
Ken Leonard there was a little disappointed with that illegal shift.
Trips receivers to the near side of the field. The snap to Brenneisen. Off the hands, and nearly picked off Gilpin's hands at the 37-yard line. Downfield, Aaron Lloyd might have had a shot at it, along with Jordan Pert.
This is a huge play because it's going to force Marian Central Catholic to punt. Plenty of time to throw the ball. Going over the top to the crossing route. Ball just off Edwards' fingertips. Coverage was good.
Wasn't as close to Lloyd as I initially thought. This is the first time today that the Cyclones have gone 3 and out. Now the fake by Brenneisen, but then he gets away at beauty. A beauty against the wind. It takes a Marian bounce and is down at the 33-yard line. A 44-yard punt of beauty against the wind.
That was interesting because Brenneisen, as soon as he caught the ball as a punter, he pump faked like he was going to throw the ball and then went ahead and made a nice kick and got good field position defensively for Sacred Heart Griffin.
There's one of their big heroes so far today, David Cavish, with the 2 interceptions defensively. He's come through with huge plays offensively, but today it's been on the defensive side of the ball where he has been the star.
He's up in squeeze coverage again. You might want to run an out and up.
This drive starts from the 33-yard line, and the catch made at the 42 by Pert. He was hit early on the play, Gossard, and that probably is why the flags were flying.
And Jordan Pert really gets good positioning on this ball as the blocking's excellent by the front, and even though it was interference, he made the catch anyway.
Continued aggressive coverage by the secondary for the Cyclones. This will be the 11th penalty of the game.
And, you know, all of the Hurricane receivers, when they make that deep curl route, they come back to the ball. Yeah. They keep moving back to the ball so they can keep that just a little bit of difference between them and the defensive player. Now their players down, probably with cramping again.
Sean Johnson, 5'11" senior defensive lineman.
Pass interference on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
It moves the ball all the way out to the 48-yard line. Our Chevy Drive of the game brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. Brenneisen on the great cutback, capping off a drive that lasted over 5 minutes. Their second 5+ minute drive of the quarter. That gave them a 28-7 lead at the time. And you can see they really needed help to get Sean Johnson off the field. Here it's 1st and 10.
He's wide open.
And here's the catch made. And the nice catch made by Joe Peckinpah. Upended on the near sidelines by John Lance, 12 yards on the play.
And Peckinpah slow blocks and comes out of the backfield. First time they've utilized that play. And if he had hurdled him, which you don't teach your backs to do, he might have been in the end zone.
So it's first down at the SHG 40. Thrown in the direction of Jordan Pert, underthrown by Budmeyer. Close coverage provided by Josh Gossard.
Same pattern he caught on this drive 2 plays prior to this. Josh Gossard, that time he had the coverage. And he's been making a lot of plays back there.
In the final week of the regular season, he had a 70-yard interception return for a touchdown against Cahokia. The first of 2 meetings against Cahokia. They also beat him in the playoffs. 7:40 remaining in the game. Marian Central Catholic down by 14. Budmeyer, the quick handoff to Peckinpah. Rambling and tripped up at the 31-yard line. He picked up about 8 on the play. Looks like it'll be 3rd and 1 coming up.
Variation of a draw on that play. Out of the shotgun. 3rd and 1.
Budmeyer kept it. Found a hole through the right side. He's down to the 27 as we send it down to Sarah Kustok.
Thanks, guys. Well, we've seen this offense really start moving. They might have some tricks up their sleeves. Last time when the offense was out, Polizzi, Peckinpah, Budmeyer sitting on the bench talking to their offensive coordinator. They've been consistently doing that during the times when they're sitting out, but they've been doing a great job now coming out and getting things ready for this offense.
Thanks, Sarah. As Budmeyer carries it on his own all the way to the 20-yard line, he picks up 8 yards.
And that time, John Budmeyer elected not to throw the ball. The coverage downfield was good, and scrambled for some excellent yardage. Clock is still running.
Budmeyer, plenty of time. Now he's got to roll out a little bit, and it's intercepted by Edwards at the goal line. Third interception for the defense of Sacred Heart Griffin. Gilpin make that, not Edwards, Keenan Gilpin. Gilpin on the interception.
Keenan Gilpin right back there by the goal line. Made an outstanding interception.
6:29 remaining in the fourth quarter, a big turnover. Griffin's lead is 28-14 back after this. This is a copyrighted broadcast under rights granted to Cost Broadcast Sales Incorporated by the Illinois High School Association. Any authorized use of the account's descriptions, video of this game, audio without our express permission is just not good. Spinning up the middle is Chris Peterson. And you know right here that Ken Leonard's going to do as much as he can to keep that ball on the ground and keep the clock running.
He's going to keep it on the ground, except if he needs a first down, and then he might throw for it.
Right.
As we've seen that happen. But that really took the wind out of the sails, that interception there. Gilpin made a nice play at the goal line.
Budmeyer was flushed out of the pocket on the play, but it looked like he really forced that ball. There's a nice wide out screen. Gilpin, a play that has worked for them all day long, requiring that kick-out block on the far side. That was Edwards on the lead block, and they're close to first down yardage.
As you mentioned, Tom, that bubble screen has been real good to him today. Just like a long handoff. Get you out in open space with room to operate.
Over the years, call it a wide-out screen, a slip screen.
Picture of Brian Balaga there. Boy, he's put in quite an effort today on both sides of the ball for Marian Central Catholic.
5:14 remaining on the clock. Ever the ally right now, the Cyclones, and the continuing enemy against the Hurricanes continues to run. First down completion made across the way at the 32-yard line. The pass complete over to David Cavish. A correction, Rob Mosier.
Rob Mosier, and real quick release here. And, you know, you can't say enough about, you know, the passing game and, you know, Bobby Bruneisen's effort and decision-making today. It's 2 years in a row that he's done this. And it's just, he's really got a gift for when to throw and when to release the ball.
Well, son coach.
Yep.
His dad, one of 3 former head coaches in the Springfield School District that are on the staff of Ken Leonard. That's experience. Here's the sweep. Gilpin trying to cut back. Finds a little seam, turned down on a hard tackle by Balagu. So that's enough, young man. Stop right there. No gain on the play, maybe even a loss.
We'll see the stretch outside. Nice job of cutting back, but we got good inside-out pursuit. There's Balaga wrapping up along with number 9, Pat Wenzel. Anybody with a number 9 who plays defensive tackle, you get worried about. You know they can move.
That's not a number you normally associate with somebody in the defensive line.
Officiating crew's done a nice job today, making good calls. Second half, we had more penalties and had a nice call down on the goal line on the catch.
It hasn't been the real tight game we thought it could be, but there still have been opportunities for Marian Central Catholic to get right back in the game. 3 interceptions all in this half. The Sacred Heart Griffin defense has come up with a big play. Earlier today, it was Normal Community ending Batavia's dream season. Batavia in the finals for the first time, but the Ironmen win it by 10. Coming up later, Mount Carmel against Wheaton, Warrenville South with the player of the year, Mr. Durking. And I'm really dating myself because I used to watch his dad run the football too. And then Jim and I will be back with St. Rita against Lake Zurich, our final game of the day. 4 games today, 8 games as we crown 8 state champions the weekend after Thanksgiving here in Champaign.
That Wheaton Warrenville South Mount Carmel game, which is coming up next, should be a great matchup. Frank Linty's squad and Ron Muhich. bringing their troops out onto the field right after this game.
2nd and 9. Fake the one. The handoff to Gilpin, sweeping around the far side. He's got a first down. Down the sidelines he goes and just steps out of bounds at the 47-yard line of the Hurricane.
And we've got a lot of fourth quarter stamina in the skill players here of Sacred Heart Griffin as Gilpin keeps the ball on the outside arm, getting great yardage up the field, and a lot of misdirection. You know, many times you say, well, going east and west, you're not going to get your yardage, but you really have today if you're playing on the Cyclones team. They've really made good utilization of the perimeter of the field.
A year ago, Gilpin wasn't available at this time of the game. He was battling that vertigo, but this year he's worked with a local chiropractor there in Springfield. He's been able to conquer it, and now he's, as I said earlier, he's making Marian Central Catholic dizzy in this one. He's been all over the place. 4:11 remaining. It's at the 49-yard line. It will be 2nd down and 11 yards to go, and a timeout taken by Ken Leonard as the Cyclones look for their 28th consecutive win. They have won their last 46 regular season games.
Just phenomenal. And you know, the heart of Illinois and Central Illinois certainly has done well so far in the playoffs here in these last 2 football games.
Folks, a reminder that Ned Kelly's of Urbana serves their steaks like you want. All their steaks are steroid-free, all natural. For the best steaks in the area, visit Ned Kelly's in Urbana. Tom Stalker, Jim Covert with you. 4:14 remaining in the 4th quarter. Marian Central Catholic looking for its first championship since 1989. That's the year Don Penza tragically passed away just before the season while raking leaves at his house, and they
and Steve Patton had to take over and won it. And you know, in the 80s, Marian Central Catholic won it in 83, 86, 87, 2nd in 85. They had quite a run. And the Cyclones have been to the finals so many times, and now all of a sudden the last 2 years, they've won their first couple of championships. Nice pass.
Penalty marker thrown on the reception by Cavish as he turned it inside and gets to the 45-yard line. A gain of about 5.
Going to see a flag on the play. Fake to Peterson, a little quick out pattern, and a kick out block by Edwards again. It's a slip screen, we call it. Had a lineman who had holding call on the offensive front. Haven't had too many penalties really until the second half.
If Sacred Heart Griffin holds on to this lead, it will give them a record of 62-3 over the last 5 years.
That's absolutely phenomenal, isn't it?
Holding on the offense, the penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Hurricanes want to take the down with time getting critical. Just over 4 minutes remaining. And the Cyclones of Sacred Heart Griffin holding on to a 14-point lead. It'll be 3rd and 8 from the 46 of Marian Central. Brenneisen throws it out left. Gilpin breaks through. Look out. He's going to go all the way. Gilpin scores. 46 yards on the touchdown play. Once he got through the middle linebackers, he was gone.
Jason Moore out blocking. It's that slip screen again. Underneath the blockers. Slant in route. There's kick out blocks by your lineman. Gilpin breaks through the seam. It's off to the races. Nick Taylor throwing a block also, 64 of those linemen. That puts it away, and they certainly have an impressive offense.
Gilpin's 5th touchdown reception of the year. And now Edwards, out of Gilpin's hold, will try to put him up by 3 touchdowns. It's good, and it's a 35-14 lead, and only 3.5 minutes remain in this contest for the 5A state championship game.
You know, Tom, I'm really, if you had told me earlier in the game that Sacred Heart Griffin would score 35, I wouldn't have probably guessed that, but they really are explosive offensively.
Sacred Heart Griffin has had 3 possessions in this half. They've all resulted in touchdowns. And they've all been triggered by a defensive turnover. This drive, 81 yards, 8 plays, just under 3 minutes, and the big play, the 46-yard reception by Keenan Gilpin.
And Sacred Heart Griffin really utilizes what I call the long handoff type of play, whether it's a bubble screen or a slip screen. The difference there, on the bubble screen, we see the looping back, on the flare. In this slip screen, you've got linemen blocking to the outside, wide receivers driving off, and an outside receiver slipping underneath all of that. And they're shorter passes to complete, but the potential to get a lot of yards after you get your hands on the ball is excellent. And Coach Leonard's awful excited right now, and he well should be. Boy, do they have it going down here in Springfield.
What's been impressive has been the execution after the catch by the support staff, the other receivers, the running backs, getting their blocks, finding their man, and tying him up, taking him out of the play.
And that young man kicking off, Mike Edwards, is one of those individuals. He's thrown a block on every one of those screen passes.
Now, the most given up this year by Sacred Heart Griffin, they gave up 25 in the season opener to Montini, but came back to win 32-25. Now, usually in a season that's successful, you find maybe a turning point. Not too many turning points happen at halftime of the first game of the season, but that's what Ken Leonard told me. He said, I think our guys are reading their clippings a little bit too much and how good they were. They trailed at halftime and came back to win. There's a nice return on the near side, and running out of bounds with it, Aaron Lloyd on a very, very good return, a 34-yard return. Scoring recap in the game in this third quarter, where Cavish, the 51-yard reception. Then Brent Eisen takes it in from 3 yards out. Both drives went over 5 minutes. A big character builder for the Hurricanes. Polizzi on the 6-yard reception as they went 68 yards. But then the one we just had a little while ago, Keenan Gilpin on the 46-yard scamper after the catch. John Budmeyer, who's still got 2 years to go up there in the Suburban Catholic Conference, completes that pass. Progress looks like probably will get up to about the 43-yard line. Actually, going to give him progress all the way to the 40-yard line, where he may have a first down.
Nice job by Aaron Lloyd coming back to the ball as John Budmeyer rolls out to his right. Lloyd broke off his route, started moving back towards the quarterback, and made the catch. And that was it right after that nice kickoff return he had. Guys are playing their hearts out right down to the wire.
Second and short. And that's incomplete. By the way, our scoring summary brought to you by our friends at Baker Square. Stops the clock with 3:13 remaining. And this is a classic case of trying to force a team to do something it really is not used to doing. Marian Central having to go to a hurry-up offense really for a lot of this game. They got him back into the contest. Budmeyer on the quarterback draw, brought down on a stick at the 41-yard line. Big tackle there. Looked like it was Nick Taylor on the stop.
It was Taylor, a quarterback draw. Number 64, Nick Taylor, really moves off laterally off the block, and he's playing both sides of the football. Had a great game today.
It'll be 4th and 1. Budmeyer scrambles, and nice catch made. Did he make the catch? They said yes. Ryan Polizzi made the catch on the underthrown pass at the 31-yard line for a first down to keep this drive going for the Hurricanes.
Sacred Heart Griffin, of course, in their prevent defense, only have a 3-man pass rush, allowing John Budmeyer an opportunity to scramble around. Look for it. There's a nice screen.
There's Peckinpah. Penalty marker thrown after the pass was thrown. Peckinpah out of bounds at the near side. That may be roughing the no, it's holding. It's going to be holding against the offense, against Marian Central.
There you can see probably a block in the back off the screen. There's Peckinpah getting out of bounds, what you want him to do, but all for naught with a holding call.
So the play will come back. 2 minutes.
Taking a break there, a well-deserved one. He had not been off the field.
The ball moved all the way back to midfield, where it'll be first down and 29 yards to go. A 3-man rush, and yet they're still getting a little bit of pressure there on Budmeyer.
5 linebackers underneath, 3 deep defenders.
Belizzi on the pattern, crossing over the middle. Brought down by Keenan Gilpin on the tackle at the 47-yard line. A gain of 3, but the clock will run with 2:23 remaining.
The Cyclones don't mind those kind of completions.
Nearly picked off. Intended at the 35 for Lloyd.
David Cavish, of course.
He came
have been something.
very close to his third, yeah.
Half.
Came very close to his third. Play stops the clock with 2:10 remaining. 35-14. Sacred Heart Griffin looking for its 28th consecutive victory and a 2nd consecutive state championship. After they had been the bridesmaids many years. First, Marian Central can tell you about that. There's a little flea flicker. Belizzi tried to flick it off there to Aguilar, and he's thrown for a loss back on the Marian Central side of the 50.
Well, it wasn't a deep curl. It was just a little short hitch and lateral. Clever little play as we see, but great defense there. Cavish, of course, he's playing a rolled-up corner anyway, so they're playing zones across and well defended.
You can hear the Calliope play on hook and ladder plays like that. Look out, Budmeyer's pressured. He's pressured, breaks away from a tackler, throws downfield, and it is broken up by Cavish. 2 men covering, Cavish and Mosier both defending on the play. The ball will go over on downs. It's first down, Cyclones with 91 seconds to go.
Got to take our hat off to John Budmeyer. He's a sophomore quarterback. He's really trying to keep things alive out there, scrambling, moving around. And when when you have to pass, it's just a tough situation.
By jumping out to the 14-0 lead, it really changed everything for Marian Central Catholic.
I agree, and they were having some difficulty running the football because of the good defensive front put up. And we're in the victory formation right now.
It's the take a knee formation. The only time you'll see Brentheisen actually go under center is he goes down to 1 knee. Marian does have 1 timeout remaining.
What an incredible run. Big smile on his face.
Look at that. Waves to his fans across the way on the east side of the field at Memorial Stadium. Not only did Ken Leonard and the Cyclones get the monkey off their back last year, they had him locked away. 2 undefeated seasons. They're 58 seconds away from going 28-0 over 2005 and 2006. Ken Leonard just got the ceremonial bath across the way. 48 seconds remaining, and the veteran coach Ed Brucker says, I got a timeout, but let's just go ahead and let it run out.
I'm not too sure who'd want to schedule them if you were a non-conference opponent.
Boy.
They opened up with Montini this year.
Heck of a way for Marian Central to bounce back. A 4-5 year a year ago, coming all the way to the championships here with some impressive victories along the way. 20 seconds ago, that's it. That's it. They don't have to snap it again. For the 2nd consecutive year, the Cyclones of Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin are Class 5A state champions, undefeated for the 2nd consecutive year.
Can't do it any better than that. Great football game. They're an outstanding team. There are some years I think Marian Central Catholic might have been a state champion, but they just ran up against an exceptional team this year.
Two teams will shake hands at midfield. ...295 yards passing for Brenneisen, 18 of 25. So he was 68 of 101 passes in postseason play for over 1,000 yards in 5 postseason games. Wow.
They really, you know what I was impressed by offensively was that they have the ability, Sacred Heart Griffin, to run the ball as well as throw the ball, and they really played good defense. They really deserve the ball game. Marian Central Catholic, as you said, had a great season, and a lot of those guys right now, they're just realizing on both sides as seniors that this is it for them.
Down to the field. Down to the field. Sarah, you got one of the victorious Cyclones.
That I do. I'm here with our Country Insurance Player of the Game, Bobby Brenson. Your senior year, you come out here, you throw for 295 yards. You have a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown. What did it feel like out there today for you?
Oh, it's amazing knowing that we've done it back-to-back and knowing that no one's ever done that at our school. So doing this for those guys in the past and everybody right now, it's just amazing.
What was different from last year and then coming into the state title game today?
We were just more experienced. That's about all there is to it.
And then what was working for you so well on offense? They were still hanging around for a while and you finally closed the door with that late score. What got your offense going in the second half?
Heart. The whole team has heart. No one on our team is willing to lose. So Keenan, just amazing speed. So once we got the ball to him, he saw him break away. I knew he was gone.
Well, Bobby, congratulations. Enjoy yourself tonight.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much. Back with more of our post-game coverage after the 5A championship after we take this timeout on the IHSA TV network.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Your 5A state champions, Sacred Heart Griffin, 35-14. I'm Lee Hall. We are upstairs with Greg Bradshaw and Paul Parpet. And guys, I guess today a cyclone beats a hurricane, right? I'm not a weatherman. I played one on TV, and but that's the case here today.
Yeah, it was the battle of 2 wins, and the one from Springfield won today. They played good defense all game, mixed the ball up, running, passing. Great performance from Bobby Brenneisen at quarterback, capping great career, 2 state championships for him. All around, well-played game by a well-coached team.
Yeah, and I think that Sacred Heart just had a little bit too much for Marian Central Catholic in that second half. Mixing up the run and the pass and converting big plays and, you know, an outstanding performance.
2 straight state championships for Ken Leonard and the Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones. Let's go downstairs to Sarah Kustok.
Coach, 62-3 over the past 5 years, but what does this back-to-back state titles mean to you?
Well, it's just great. These seniors have just been unbelievable, and it's just unbelievable. But you know, before I get into the seniors, and one thing that they break the huddle with every time, and that's Jesus, and we give all credit and give all praise and glory to our Lord Jesus Christ, and that's what's important at our school and what's important to this football team.
And in that second half, you got your offense moving, had a couple big scores. What worked for you well in that second half?
Well, I think we just executed, and we did everything. We had they were a heck of a football team, and nobody really had ran on them like we did tonight. And you know, give our line credit, but they were waiting for the pass, so we thought we could run, and we mixed it up well, and it was just Bobby Brenneisen, pretty good football player, quarterback.
To say the least, Coach. Yeah. Well, congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you.
Enjoy yourself tonight.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
All right, I'm told that I'm supposed to take things over here, but I hear Tom Stocker in my ear, so I guess it's going to go upstairs to us guys. This is our Menards final stats recap. Save big money at Menards, and there's a look at the numbers, guys, and tell me what you see there that stands out to you. Obviously, the passing yards, a big number for Sacred Heart Griffin.
Well, they got into the end zone, and Marian Central Catholic couldn't score points. You see really the passing yards, 100 yards difference. Look at the rushing yardage there for Marian Central Catholic. 30 rushes for only 62 yards. On the other side, 179. Really, they dominated the line of scrimmage, which was surprising. People thought Marian Central Catholic, with those 2 big defensive ends, would control that line of scrimmage, but a nice job by the offensive and defensive lines of Sacred Heart Griffin.
And I think in the second half, the rush yardage was very important. Also, Sacred Heart Griffin also had 7 more minutes of ball possession, and I think that was the key to the second half, the rushing yardage.
All right, that's our stats, and we'll take a look now at our second half scoring recap brought to us by Baker's Square. Visit Baker's Square to get your Christmas pies. Okay, we will wait on that for just a minute. Boy, the Sacred Heart kids, I went down on the field for just a little bit, and really impressed by Keenan Gilpin. Had that really tough run there in the third quarter. Looked like he was stopped a couple of different times, spun into the end zone.
Yeah, he kind of epitomizes this team. Very tough team. This was a very physical game. Both sides hit real hard, but Gilpin had a great game. He could catch the ball. He could run the ball. Even on defense, played really well from his defensive back position. So he was a very physical player and really kind of represented the physical play of this game.
Our Menards Hardware Trophy presentation. Second place trophy for Marian Central Catholic. And Coach, it's kind of a bittersweet thing. You work hard all year, you achieve your goal of getting to the state championship and take home a second place trophy. That's it's still a heck of an achievement, though.
Well, when you start out in the playoffs, only 256 teams qualify, and only 8 teams go home with smiles on their faces. But I think that one of the important things is that to make it this far and to compete in the state championship game is something that even the runner-up will never forget.
And there you see the Hurricanes hoisting their second place trophy.
This is a junior-dominated team. This team could be back. They got their entire offensive line back, most of their offensive linemen. They got their quarterback back, obviously, and John Budmeyer. We may see this team back down here again. And they have represented themselves well, just ran into a buzzsaw today with Sacred Heart Griffin.
And our congratulations to the Marian Central Catholic Hurricanes on their second place finish. Let's go ahead and go back downstairs to Tom Stocker and Jim Covert and check in with them. Gentlemen?
All right, guys, thank you very much. Well done, as one trophy's been handed out, and Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin is about to get their second consecutive trophy to take back to the state capitol and display proudly in their trophy case. Take a look at some of the highlights from this one. Early in the first half, as Sacred Heart Griffin ran to a 14-0 lead. Nice dive right in there by number 25, Josh Gossard. And he comes back later with a second score to cap off 2 plays. Quarterback sneak by Budmeyer, a real big drive late in the second quarter to make it a 14-7 game at halftime. But then Keenan Gilpin put on a show. Here he bumps heads and is tackled in the end zone for one of his 2 scores. What a great keep and a great fake by Brenneisen. I think only appropriate that he was able to reach the end zone in this game, in this victory. But then Woodstock, Marian Central, certainly not out of it. Budmeyer, as he drove him down for a real big drive, finds a man in the end zone, diving catch across the way by Palizzi. But then here's Gilpin again as the trophy is hoisted proudly by the victorious Cyclones of Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin. And I know there's a very happy friend of mine who's an old Griffin graduate, Mr. Jim Flynn. I know you're smiling somewhere in the state of Illinois as your alma mater wins it for the second consecutive year.
Very special season for Sacred Heart Griffin, back to back. And you know, Central Illinois football teams have been doing quite a nice job. We had Normal Community in the game prior to this, and then the Springfield team, Sacred Heart Griffin, really putting it together back to back, and they've got it running.
All right, back with more from Memorial Stadium in Champaign on the IHSA TV network.